Hello, true art believers, and welcome to my YouTube channel where I make videos of acrylic pour paintings, or is it paint pour paintings? Whatever, you pour paint on a canvas and things happen there. And live stream drawing videos, I haven't done those for a while, but it's okay. I'll be back at it in no time. And my most notable thing is having interviews with artists internationally around the world. Before I start, make sure to smash the subscribe button and hit the notifications bell. Tonight's guest artist wants to produce artwork that facilitates meaningful and memorable feelings that empower, inspire, and return childlike wonder to the viewer. He is self-described as a free spirit whose purpose on earth is to spread love and goodwill. Introducing a jive turkey and one cold-ass honky, creator of the Coolieverse, Michael Snider! I was trying to do this. All right, thank you, and enjoy the show. Michael, how are you doing today?
Dude, that was some Johnny Carson shit, dude. Digging it.
What was that?
Pro.
What was that?
That was some pro Johnny Carson shit, man.
Yeah, I just couldn't hold it. I wanted to go a little longer. I wanted to carry it so much longer, but I didn't want to wake up anyone in the house.
Oh, I had like 20 more little funny, stupid nicknames that I wanted to throw in there, but I thought it might get old.
What other nicknames did you have?
Dude, okay, so this is it, man. Like I'm always thinking of like these little quirky things to just do. And last week we were sitting around, and I was thinking, cause I was listening to this radio show, and this guy's like, "Dirty's on the mic," and I'm like, "Damn, man, that's pretty cool, being named Dirty." So I'm like, let's all like make up our own street names. So like last week I decided that I was Dirty. My girlfriend's Nasty, and we still got a lot of names up for grabs. Filthy's available, man. But give it some thought, man, because like, what if you were out with like 10 of your friends at a bar and you all like had these, street weird nicknames, and well, put yourself in the observers. You're sitting at your table, the table next to you, guy walks up, everybody goes, "What's up, Nasty?" And he goes like, "What's up, Dirty?" And it would tend, I think it'd be kind of interesting, funny even.
What other names? Like what about Scruffy?
You know what? You've already caught on. That's the fun of the whole thing.
What could we like go the opposite direction instead of be like Dirty or Nasty? What about like Dove Soap or Soap?
You know what? That's the beauty of freedom, man.
Yeah. You can be like, call me Dial.
And you know what? That'll be the hot thing, dude. Right now, dude. Dial. About to dial that shit up. You know what makes it cool?
What makes it cool? Wait.
When you seriously, anybody can do it. Pick a random fucking word and make it the new cool word. And if you say it enough, it'll just catch on. Yeah.
If you say things over and over again, like people are like, "Yeah, I really like that phrase." At first I felt it was really dumb, but now it's just really, it's rubbing on me the right way. You know. So do you do that? Do you just keep boring that word, a new word over and over again until it becomes cool?
It's totally possible.
It's totally possible.
Like we just did it. It's Dial.
Oh man, that shit's totally Dial.
Scruffy, he's down with the Dial, man.
Oh man, right, Michael, you're like.
Scruffy's down with the Dial, man.
Scruffy's down with the Dial, and so right. Be like, it would be like a bar of soap that has way too many hairs on it. You know?
$1 million idea right there, man. Now we were talking about words, man. You remember the first time you heard the word crunk? Or have
Crunk,
you ever heard the word crunk? You ever
crazy
heard the word
drunk was
crunk?
it? Yeah,
No, crunk. You know, I remember the
crunk.
first time I heard that, I'm like, well, that's just stupid. But
Yeah,
you know, next thing you know, I'm saying it. So
time to
anyhow,
get crunk.
crunk, yeah.
So you got a beer right there. Is that a beer? Is that a beer?
Yes,
Is
sir.
that a
Yes,
beer?
sir. Yes, it
So
is.
you're gonna need like 5 more lined up to get crunk. Or
No, 2 to 3, and well, I wake up crunk.
you
Like,
wake up crunk. It's
yeah,
an
I tell you
attitude.
what, brain cells that we ain't never reaching uncrunked.
No, yeah, you're not
Like
gonna
the eternal
retrieve that.
crunk has eternal crunk has shined down on me, and yeah, I just crunk on life.
Eternal crunkness. So, Michael,
Yeah.
tell me how your day has gone so far.
Man, you know, I had a pretty good day. Um, I do some carpentry, construction, kind of random. Like I don't have a job, but to make money for art supplies, I do random stuff, handyman type stuff. Did some of that today. Went and bought this motherfucking coat at Goodwill for $10 today. Today was a good day. This thing is. I'm talking like. I mean, you know, I got some in the. I got some horses in the stable, but this right here is right up there. I don't know where. Yeah, I like the '70s like vintage weird clothing stuff. So I thought,
Yeah.
you know, I got plenty of things I could have rolled in, but I thought I'm gonna go out, see what's, you know, do a little clothes shopping before tonight, see what up. And I came up with this and was just like very happy about my Goodwill purchase. Very excited.
Who's that musician that singer that says I'm gonna drop some tags? I only got $20 in my pocket.
Yeah. My cold ass honky line, that's out of the Macklemore. It's
Macklemore, yeah.
Yeah.
That guy, I love. He had like 2 good songs, or he has more than that, but like the ones that really resound to me
He's like,
were
oh
those.
my
Was
album
that one. Yeah. So that did you blare that when you went to Goodwill?
I guarantee if that comes on and I'm in a Goodwill, they better have some security cameras rolling because I'll be doing motherfucking helicopter and shit. Like it would, like if I hear that song and I'm in Goodwill, you better whip out your cell phone because some weird shit will go down.
It would be so
Yeah, that's a
funny
great
if
video.
you would get you should get like a Bose, one of those portable Bose like sound tubes, and just sync it to your phone, and then play that Macklemore song and have it on loop and just go in there and just repeat it over and over again.
I'm gonna see your flip shop and I'm gonna raise you downtown. Have you seen his video for downtown?
Downtown, no, I have not.
Downtown, where he's rolling through the streets of this downtown area,
Yeah.
and please check it.
Macklemore downtown.
Macklemore's downtown. And listen, I'm telling you what, I want to do that video with a bunch of my friends right here in downtown Alton. And we got enough weirdos. I've got a guy cast for that. The guy that just goes like this, I got a guy cast for that. I got people, I got some parts. It might come together. Like doing a music video is, sounds like fun, and why not? Because it sounds like just about anybody can do it on something in their pocket these days. So I don't know.
Oh yeah, you can edit. There's editing programs on phones now. They could look like you. You can make as good a quality of video from like the 90s with actual CGI on your phone, you know. Like what was that video with Michael Jackson where he spins and he turns into like dust? You know, you could do that with your phone and it'd probably look better than the dust at that time, but that time it took like I don't know how many
a production company and shit.
Yeah, CGI engineers to produce that. Oh, so Michael, tell me a little bit about yourself. Like, tell me maybe if you could encapsulate your life story or maybe an era of your life. Like, what's a really resounding time in your life where, like, maybe it was like from middle school to high school or grade school to middle school, whatever it is. So maybe pick and choose some really interesting sections of your life that you want to talk about.
Grew up in the country up until my parents got divorced when I was 14, and then I moved to the city. Was on the wrestling team during middle school and high school. Went to college for 2 years at Indiana University, and then discovered the Grateful Dead, and then that was it. Like I went to my first live show. Would have been 1990. And after that, I was hooked. Saw Jerry Garcia with the Grateful Dead live 55 times. I don't know how many 55? Shows I've been to. Yeah. Graduated in 89, born in 71, 49 years old, current. I was real happy that I grew up in the country and then moved to the city because it really gave me a diverse background of music and experiences. And I certainly wouldn't be who I am today without seeing both. And then I'd say the singular most moving time of my life is when I started going to Grateful Dead shows. When I first started going, it was, it hadn't quite, from 90 to 95, it continuously grew very, very quickly, the number of people going to shows. And a lot of those people were just there to buy some drugs or party because they heard it was a fantastic party, which it was. But when I first started going to them, anybody in that crowd would give you the shirt off their back. It was freaky weird, dude. You could walk up to a random person anywhere in the parking lot or crowd and give them a hug, and they'd give you a hug back and a smile. Dead serious, not even kidding. I'm talking about a very spiritual crowd, very dedicated, very unique in the world as far as I'm considered. And it really shaped me as a human being. Throughout my life, my family's uber religious. They're Eastern Orthodox Christian, which means they're Christians, but they don't follow the Pope. Anyhow, I don't consider myself religious, and I consider myself spiritual, but I'm more of a everybody can believe in whatever they want as long as it makes you a better, loving person. You can believe in Santa Claus, God, nobody, whatever you got to believe in. You know, I don't know. I'm kind of there. I'm not saying anybody's wrong. I don't even know what I technically believe. But I feel spiritual.
And do you feel that the Grateful Dead concerts kind of enhance that spirituality? I'm pronouncing it wrong. Is it spirituality?
Without a doubt. And to this day, I consider myself ultimately a deadhead, and I consider my other deadheads my extended family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And define to me what is country to you. Like, you grew up in the country. What is that? Because like
Uh,
people have certain layers of like country.
yeah, man. So Southern Indiana, Martinsville, Indiana. My family, we had 60 acres. Uh,
Okay.
the two ponds. Like I had really no neighbors. I had a BB gun and a dog, and I think I had a 22 rifle at probably 12 years old. So for me, existence was running around in the woods or fishing with my dog. Not really a whole lot of there's no neighborhood experiences. Uh, my family had like 30 acres that they would rent out, and people would like plant corn or hay. Um, yeah, I did that till I was about 14.
Did you have any friends in as a child because of the large area? You know, you had like no
You
neighbors.
know,
Was
I
it hard to
mean,
find friends?
yeah, it'd be like, if you wanted to do something, you'd have to have your mom drive you 15 minutes, 20 minutes down the road to so and so's house and blah, blah. You know, I enjoy having groups of friends, but I think even then, as in now, I don't really have a best friend. I'm cool. I don't mind being a little solitary. I don't mind, partying it up by any means, but uh, I could live in a cabin in the woods with a dog and a woman and probably be all right for, some time.
At least 2 days. Tuesdays.
Oh, shoot. I didn't even know there was a pandemic. All I knew is, I mean, I'm like, this ain't bothering me a bit. Like, I just, I'm cool. I could see my little cohort tribe, 5, 10 friends. And as before, when I was younger, I was dying to get out to all the live music I could possibly see. But I'm getting old, man. I'm kind of chill these days. I don't, 9:30 comes real quick. I might want to go sleep.
And what was an exciting Grateful Dead concert that you went to? Like, what was there? Like, there was there one that stood out the most?
Well, one of them I got a tattoo in the parking lot. That's this little hitter. Man, I was there in '95, second night at Deer Creek when was the first night at Deer Creek. There used to be a lot of people try to sneak in the show, and actually
Mm-hmm.
one of my stories is about that. And man, they one year at Deer Creek in Indiana, so many people were outside the fence trying to climb the fence that they like fucking knocked one fence down, ran across apparently a field and ran and then crashed well, crashed the fence at the in the lawn area. It'd be like it's that lawn. It looks just like all your other outdoor amphitheaters with the hill and the lawn and the fence and they I mean it looked like a wave of people. I mean I looked back and it looked like water flowing over that fence until that fence just flattened and then it was just like people running up in there and that was kind of exciting. Uh, but I'd say my most exciting one was hey I saw you work out, dude. I used to still do, but anyhow, I was in my early 20s. I was in really fucking good shape. I was fast. And I went to Soldier Field and I didn't have a ticket to get in. Maybe 91, 92. And the first set was over. Because you could hear it from outside Soldier Field. Soldier Field show used to be a fucking madhouse, dude. Outside of that place was anything goes. But so anyhow, it's set list. They got that little turnstile thing that you walk through to go into the stadium. And
Yeah, yeah.
all the security guards kind of had their back turned. I mean, it was in between the two sets, so there wasn't anybody in line. There was no line. There hadn't been a line for an hour, man, but there was still people kind of walking around the stadium. I got a full sprint up. I hurdled that thing, and I was gone, dude. I was 20, 30 feet past them people before they even knew what was up, and I was trucking. And it was set break. It was set break. So there were people everywhere, and I'm a long-haired, hippie-looking white boy running through thousands of white-haired. I'm thinking, I got this motherfucker. I ran down the hall. I ran up the tunnel. I ran into the seating area. I ran down a row, and then I started jumping over rows of seats. And I'm seeing the show, and I'm thinking, I don't care how many people with radios they got. And next thing I know, this dude jerked me up by my neck. This dude looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger. It looked like fucking Running Man. I mean, the dude that caught me, I'm telling you what, he was superhuman as far as I'm concerned. So then, anyhow, okay, I better make it short. So then they threw me in a little jail underneath Soldier Field and blah, blah, and told me they're going to do all this stuff. And I generally feel bad because I'm not really a bad guy. I didn't want to cause no, I don't know. I'm stupid, right? I'm 21 years old, 25,
Yeah.
whatever. I was 20. Anyhow, so they locked me up. Apparently some cop got hurt trying to chase me. Anyhow, the show ends. And they decided to let all the people that weren't real bad out of the little venue jail. So I come up out of there, and they don't realize that there's going to be an encore. So I'm free out of jail. They're not going to charge me with that cop getting hurt. I fucking bounce up into the stadium. I ran all the way up to the top row, dead center. I'm looking at Soldier Field like this, and they play the Wait encore. And that's my favorite Grateful Dead moment right there.
It's exciting. I don't really know. I can't imagine. I've never been to a Grateful Dead concert, and I haven't been to a lot of concerts if I kind of self-reflect, but I never would have been ballsy enough to run through a ticket line. But if it makes sense that you would the opportunity to not get caught is very low, or like, was it high, or is it low or high?
Yeah,
well, the chances of getting caught.
Listen, for any normal speed person, they're gonna get caught. I'm just saying, like, whoever's catching me, like, usually a security guard ain't on the track team.
Yeah.
Like, the track team motherfucker's gonna have to be catching me. And sure enough, the Chicago PD has, amongst, I'm sure, all their overweight gentlemen, they've got one guy that's on the damn track team and the football team and I don't know what the fuck. I mean, this dude, I still can't believe he caught me to this day. He must have been on the fucking Bears as defensive D-back.
Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
The Chicago Bears. He was a red shirt, or is that? Can you have a red shirt in professional football, or is it just like a
Snider on that one?
I don't know. So Michael, would you say that some of your childhood experiences or your Grateful Dead experiences kind of influence your artwork?
Without a doubt, I'd say I'm constantly trying to observe and absorb life, and all life, I think, all life experiences add to what you can pull from.
Mm-hmm.
But certainly, I think my experiences with the Grateful Dead were just one part of seeing true freedom. Seeing people who are going to take a direction to look a certain way, even though it may get them a lot of static.
So, what does a typical day look like for you? Because you said you do a lot of handyman work and such. Is that a
I
nine to
generally
five?
work. No. It's so far from that, man. It is. I'm very fortunate and blessed to really kind of be able to, like right now, I'm close to 50-50 full-time art. Like I might work for a week or two and then take a week or two, three off, and then I'm broke all the time. I just
Yeah,
make money. Like I've got 4 gallons of epoxy in this pour. You're talking about epoxy pour and all that stuff. Like as soon as I make it, it's gone. I mean, I'm always floating on. I've got $600 in the bank, and that's about enough that if my automatic bill pay shit went through, that it wouldn't bounce. But yeah, so a couple days. I've got it reduced down to where I only work for two friends. One of them owns 12. One of them owns three fourplexes, and the other one's an older lady that I do random. She owns 4 properties. So anyhow, I've got a couple of friends that told me whenever you need work, you come over, we'll give you some work. Other than that, go make art. And I'm telling
yeah,
you what, those those are the people who get the rubber to the road. The people who tell you that, like, we want you to primarily chase your dream, and when you need money, come holler. I mean, those are I don't know, of all the people who want to discourage you, not believe in you, don't care, think you're, whatever, think you're nuts. Um, man, shout out to if whoever the Medici. I mean, without the Medici, uh, how much Renaissance art does not get made?
yeah.
A lot.
So, Michael, one of the piece behind you, that's yours, yes?
Yes,
Could you talk about that piece a little bit?
love to. Um, I've been working with some guys up here at the conservatory, and I make whatever I want, but I don't mind exploring things. Anyhow, so I've made a lot of musically themed pieces, but more so these days I'm kind of concentrating on that because it kind of works with this. My works are now shown. Oh man, so check it. Uh, some guys here in downtown Alton opened a bar. Now I've been to a lot of these local uh, businesses, try to get some pieces here and there. Go to art galleries, try and get pieces there. I don't do fairs or anything. They reached out. They said, "Hey, we're looking for local artists. We need to put some stuff on the walls." I roll in. I'll say I'll decorate this whole place. Just give me a shot. Let's do this. Almost everything that you'll see tonight, I already had in my house. Dude, my house was freaking. You ain't never. Well, I had this in my house. This is 8.5 feet by 10.5 feet. I had like 2 or 3 pieces in my house this big. I blocked off my wall. I got covered up my windows. Um, I've never been married, don't have any kids. So I don't have anything but stupid money and stupid ideas and enjoy the hell out of doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
Where am I? Pause, drink. Oh, shit.
Does that piece actually have 45-pound plates on it, or is that like fake?
They're fake. They're styrofoam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh gosh, you have a piece that weighs at least 90 pounds just in
No, well, listen,
metal
I'm
alone.
telling you right now, it weighs 200 pounds.
Oh, what is that? What's that made out of? You
Without,
said you
uh,
what you said that you mess around with some epoxy resin and other stuff. Is that what's that made out of?
um, this piece behind me has 4 gallons of epoxy
Okay.
poured into it. Yeah. I bought these like 3D wave panels, and then I did 11 epoxy pours with different colors um, and some musical notes. And I usually like not talking about what it means to me until I've asked the person that I'm talking to what it means to them, because I'm really more interested in other people's, and I'm wildly in this, like I kind of enjoy, I want to know nothing. I want you to think. If you see something of mine, I want you to think about it. I don't want you just don't like. I'm not interested in making something that doesn't get your attention and make you think. And if you haven't taken notice and had a thought, then I'm not happy about it. But you can tell me it sucks. I don't care. But anyhow, I
Mm-hmm.
usually enjoy. So I don't know how well you can see it, but if you want to play this game, got any? What's your initial thoughts?
Well, the first thought was if those are 45-pound plates, excluding that it was really heavy, and the other thought is I didn't know what the material was until you said what it was. I was like, oh, then I'm thinking how does Michael mount this on a wall without ripping it out of the studs?
Yeah.
Then I'm like, well, I I notice when I look at your other work, I notice a giant trend with neon lights, and I'm thinking, how does Michael make the neon lights prefabbed, or how does he do that? I'm not quite sure. And then I see the lights behind it. I don't know if I'm thinking are the lights in, since you said it was epoxy and I can't see. It's like,
Yeah.
are the lights inside the epoxy, or they're like behind in the frame so that you can still replace the lights, or I don't know. And then if I think about it, you said those wavy forms. If I didn't know they were wavy forms, I thought there were some. It felt like from a knee jerk reaction it felt like maybe if I didn't know what the material was and I just saw a photo, I would have thought maybe some sort of modeling clay the artist took to make some sort of like the wavy forms, and then you painted on top of it some sort of color, like this green turquoise color. I don't know. And then when I want to think about, if I think about the meaning, if I were to attach a meaning, I would have to look at it a little bit in person, but maybe it could be a shrine, or it could be the photo of that person could be a friend of importance to the artist, or just an interesting photo of a person. I don't know. I maybe think about the aesthetics. What's the purpose of the 45-pound plates? Are those like subwoofer tweeters on the side? And then if I didn't know you, it was like, did the person do this as a lark, just for like, you know what? What I mean by lark is like, you know what I'm gonna do with my piece? I'm gonna put some fake 45-pound plates on there. I'm gonna put some speaker tweets on there. I don't care what anyone thinks. Or maybe they have some real meaning to it. I don't know. It depends. I would have to look at it more. And I don't know if the cool cigarette thing above it is part of it. You know.
Yeah.
So if it's part of it, then maybe it could be a shrine. It could be like a memorial of a passed away person, or just like you just like the design of cool cigarettes. Is that a cigarette? Are those cigarettes? Or tobacco? Is that tobacco? I don't really know.
Cigarettes.
Cigarettes.
Yeah.
So like it could be a list of things. More, I'm a weird person. I will think about the. I'm not as concerned about like the emotional response. It'd have to be a very, 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 very strong piece to really get me like to like think about the emotional, like real strong. I would be more interested in like how'd this dude get this darn piece to hang? Because I'd be more intrigued about the construction of it. Because I don't know, maybe in the future I might want to do something like that, or maybe
Right.
I might think about like, well, if I were to make a big painting that was really heavy, and maybe I could pick this dude's brain for a second and see if I can get some suggestions. I don't know.
Totally.
I'd be more about the construction of it. You know, I'd probably look at the
Yeah.
craftsmanship of it and all that kind of stuff. But that's my like response, I guess. I don't really know. I think that's maybe.
No higher compliment I've ever been paid than to hear you say it could be a shrine. Because, I feel like anytime uh, that's not a word that someone uses for candy canes. That's cool, man. Dig it. Uh, actually, I've got 66 feet of light that I
Uh-oh.
glued onto that before I started pouring the epoxy. So it's got lights in the epoxy. It's got lights around the epoxy. Um, I don't know if you can see them. It's got some time clocks in the corners down here,
Mm-hmm.
and then up top it's got some speakers. But to me, it represents the work and determination that it takes to make it, specifically in the music industry, but more generally as an artist of any kind.
Yeah.
The time clocks represent basically no matter how good you think you are, the more time you spend at your craft, the better you get, or you better hope
Yeah.
so. That better be your goal.
Yeah.
And so you better put in that time. If you're playing an instrument, you better put in that practice. If you're experimenting with art, you might have to do a lot of it to get to where you're, happier with your stuff, and especially if you're constantly trying different mediums and stuff. Um, the weights I like kind of making dude stuff. I mean, I want to speak to people that I feel like when I was growing up, art was not man. Your farmers. I don't know. In general, I think older generations were raised to think, in some cases, that art was for sissies. Maybe I know I don't want to say something not as harsh as that, but you're not a tough guy if you're doing art, right, or something,
Yeah.
right? So I think you can be tough and sophisticated or artistic, and I think that's underrepresented, and I think that there's a lot of guys that kind of dig art, but they're not going to have some daisies painted on in their living, like some of the. I want the objects I use in my artwork to have a meaningful, memorable, like a connection, to the viewer. And
Yeah.
anybody who sees 45 plates, there's a group that automatically, as a guy who's in the weight room, you see that and okay, I'm familiar with that.
Yeah.
I'm understanding that. Like that means something to me. Um, Similar to the speakers, and it almost has a dual kind of connotation where the power of music. Not only is it heavy metal, it's weight, and it represents, once again, if you want to be successful and you have a dream, you better be passionate and determined. And if you're not ready to, if you don't have the if you don't have the work ethic, the determination, the passion, don't cry about not doing shit. Even if you do shit, you got this much chance of being happy. So I'm trying to constantly remind myself, and I know I don't know. I kind of did a little bit of research on you and know that you do some exercise videos and stuff. Big props, because I know what it takes to try and find a life balance. And when you're having a good time and you're involved in creative enterprises, it's really easy to let your health go to shit.
Yeah.
So, party hard.
The stereotype of the artist that doesn't lift weights is very true. You don't see a lot of them. They're like zebras. No, unicorns. They're like some horse-shaped character. So, Michael, do you have more work in this area? Would you like to show some more? You have some really interesting stuff in here.
Nothing would make me happier, and I'm telling you what, dude, I'm not even kidding. I don't care who comes here, but I'm shocking the world from right here. I'm not playing. That's what I'm here to do, and I don't care if it catches on, doesn't catch on. But I'm telling you what, you're gonna hear about it, because
all right.
I feel like I'm more driven and excited than ever to be a free individual who's alive, and let's do something special. Let's be somewhere special. And if that special place does not exist, let's create it. Let's join with other creators. Like you want to go. I'm not talking about let's go local. I'm talking about let's go galaxy. Like the sky's the limit. I refuse to put anybody in a box, and I refuse to put anybody put me in a box. If you're doing what you like to do, shit, the fucking guy, Ocean Spray guy went viral, and he's riding a skateboard drinking Ocean Spray. What's that?
Who's Ocean Spray guy?
The guy who was listening to Fleetwood Mac going to work. The video that went viral of that guy on a skateboard going to work singing Fleetwood Mac. You didn't see that?
I'm like you. You didn't know that there's a thing going around the world. I didn't know of an Ocean Spray viral video.
Well, okay, another example. Bernie Sanders.
Okay.
Okay, like who knows what's gonna blow up?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? I mean, how did that go worldwide? There's people with t-shirts, and stickers, and hats and shit. Well, I know, but like, that's my whole point. Is that don't think that you can't blow up, because you never know what the hell. You never know what makes that get wildly popular. It's certain when talent is just Oh wow! I gotta plug my phone in.
Oh no, you're dying on us.
No, I need to plug this, but we're good though, because I had to use my old ass phone. Oh, don't do that.
Oh no, what's happening?
Oh wow!
Yeah, you there?
I can't believe you actually came back. I hit the death to all button.
Oh no!
I fucking hit that button that I thought was the on off. Apparently,
Go ahead.
we're good still, right? Cool, cool.
We're good. We're still there. We're still live.
Sweet. All right. Well, let me see what I can see from here.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Bernie Sanders. He had those. What was it? He had like mittens, and he had like earmuffs or something, or he was like scrounched out in a ball. Oh yeah, I seen those. We're gonna talk about those. Let's talk about those. Yes, yes. It's a good thing that the Charger's near that, right?
Yeah.
So can you break these down a little bit?
Right on, man. So I'm going to get out of the way here for a second. So the top one I call Mad Fly. It's kind of a commentary on the state of the country. I've got this license plate way up in here that says Mad Fly. And then I've got the guys from Pulp Fiction. I've got a phone, got the gold bar, got an Atari joystick. And then up in here, I've got bats. And then that's Johnny Depp from Fear and Loathing. And I've got two little fans mounted in the piece that blow on the bats so the bats flutter. But basically, it's a commentary on, well, we've got the bats harassing Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
We've got the guys from Pulp Fiction kind of corralling all the bats. And there's
So
a lot of different.
Go ahead.
No, after you, bro.
Is that are you using epoxy resin on those as well, or some sort of?
This piece has one small epoxy pour, and
Okay.
it's the cloud right there of what the hitmen are talking about. Jules and Vincent Vega. There's like an epoxy pour right there, but it's kind of a commentary on who's the hero. I feel like in America, with all the political turmoil, it's hard to know. A lot of people are making a lot of heroes. Sometimes it's hard to tell who's the hero and who's the bad guy, and what if the bad guys are doing something you think's right? Does that make them the heroes, although they're still fucking bad guys? I started out by making this piece was 100% political. It had Black Lives Matter stickers. It had Trump stickers. It had Thin Blue Line stickers. It had all this shit in it. It was kind of a commentary on the chaos in the country. And I dug it. And I think it in the art world, it was very provocative. I mean, it is chock full of shit, guaranteed you hate something in there. Because it had all sides. But, it's rough finding happiness. And although I want to stand for good, I see what the true lightning rods get. Maybe I'm not. Apparently, I don't have the balls to be a true lightning rod at this moment.
Oh yeah. So is that why you changed it? That's why you changed the whole composition took out all those elements.
Yeah, it was totally. It was nothing any business would touch. I
Oh
mean, you
yeah,
can't. I mean, you can't. You can't make a giant political piece in any direction without pissing off half the country.
yeah, yeah. That's it's
So a lot of business owners kind of steer clear of any of that. We'll see what I do in the future. Maybe
you
if
could have been like.
maybe I'll grow a set.
You could have been like this. Hey, listen, business owner, you get the best of all the worlds because you got BLM, you got Trump, you got the Blue Lives Matter, you got all of them. You know, everyone like there's going to be at least one thing every person's going to like about this piece.
It totally
So.
was.
So at
And
least
then I sold it as a media piece because
yeah.
there for about a year, every day the news was jam packed with, I mean, high pressure shit.
Yeah, yeah. It's the I tend to avoid political pieces because because of that point, like it like because of the you pissing off any group really, but also I also find that like it's like it can be too easy because it's like, you know, it's so easy to do like one side that they do it in like every Sunday newspaper, right? Like they do like some little satire, you know, they're like I think it's easy to satire those current events, and I think sometimes it can I think they don't age as well, you know. That's just my opinion. I don't think they don't age as well as they could. Like that piece, right? If it has more staying power, right? Because now you're still using contemporary pulp culture, pulp fiction,
Yeah,
right?
pop culture for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, and you're bound to hit some nerves on all that. And you know, maybe this piece works better as it is right
Yeah,
now.
it totally. I'm really digging it as it is. Um, yeah, and that's not unusual for me to try one thing, then change it, or mock 10 things up before I find one that kind of works.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've changed a lot of my stuff. If I don't like it, I'll just glue something else on it or cut something out of it. Or I really, yeah,
How do
business
you
as
plan
usual.
these pieces? How do you go about these pieces when you work on them? Because like you have to do a lot of construction, right? So
Yeah,
is there like a little bit of a planning session, right?
man, I'm non-stop brainstorm. That's, you know, I wish I could get paid for thinking weird shit because you want to think outside the box. I'll let your boy. Uh, I've got so many things I want to do. I couldn't possibly get them all done. I've already
Yeah.
got the next, and I've already got the next 3 things I want to do. Like, you know, it's searching for microphones or searching for pieces of driftwood or trying to, you know, find, you know, speakers. I've got 30 speakers, 38 speakers in my new piece. I've got like 1,500 CDs in it. I'll show you here in a second. I got to acquire LED lights. I got to order framing. I got to order a wallpaper, a background, or sometimes that stuff takes weeks or to get delivered, or lots of time on eBay looking for that, you know, kind of those one little pop culture piece things that somebody will look at and go, oh, that evokes a memory in me. Uh, Anyhow, so yeah, I've got tons of ideas and not enough time to do them all, and really feel fortunate and excited about knocking stuff out.
What's your next project that you got down the pipe?
Check this out. Check this out. So I started collecting old Scrabble games. Not because I'm smart or know about words, but well, I don't know how I got started on it. Anyhow, I've got a piece that's going to be about 9 feet by 4 feet, and it's going to be all older pop culture games. And I ordered 2,000 Scrabble letters off of Amazon. I've got like 200 band names. That's going to be a giant Scrabble board, and it's going to have 200 band names continuously all locked together. And then I've got a light bright that's going to go at the top. It's going to say Cooliverse. I've got this thick ass 4.25-inch wide picture frame molding that's going around it, and that shit runs. It's $60 a foot installed. Luckily, I do the installation. But I'm like, this last piece that I had has like 37 feet of that shit in it.
Wow.
That's where my money goes. But yeah, my next piece is gonna have like Snoopy and Scrabble words and light bright and just about anything else I can get my hands on that'll evoke a memory of somebody's childhood and be kind of cool, maybe music oriented.
How long does one of those pieces take to make?
I'm usually, for these big pieces, usually at about a month.
A month? And do you average out? Do you do about 12 pieces a year, or do you do more than that?
No, I really, especially during the pandemic, it's very important to me to be. It's the only time I'm happy is when I'm making. I mean, if I got any free time, if I got a wingnet idea, man, sit back, throw on some good music, have a smoke and a drink, and just make weird shit. I mean, like that's my. I don't have cable. I don't have the internet. I don't have, I don't want to get hooked into watching anything. I don't want to be on my phone all day. I don't want a nice phone. I don't want a computer. I don't want Dish. I don't rent movies. I just want to make. I want to make shit until I'm hanging out with Johnny Depp. I mean, like the day that I can be free, and in this time, without a little bit of money in the bank, you're not technically free. But right now, I got zero, so I don't care if I sell anything. I don't need to sell anything, but I'm open to being a millionaire. So if it happens, I won't fight it.
You won't fight it?
No, won't fight that.
If you want to be hanging with buddy with Johnny Depp, you need to make a ton of Johnny Depp inspired pieces. You already got one.
So
you just got to keep it up.
Oh, baby. Well, I'll tell you what. If the dude in that other piece is Maynard James Keenan, I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's a Tool, Pussiver, and A Perfect Circle.
Yes. Yeah.
I would hang with that guy. We all have a list of 5 or 10 musicians or actors that we wish we could go hang out with and party with.
Yeah.
And I'm not even really saying Johnny Depp's on my short list. I don't think I can hang with that dude. That dude's awesome. Yeah. I'm like weird that he might be. I don't know. Actually, I'd probably dig it, but I don't know. I hear that guy's into some pretty weird shit.
Yeah. Was it Maynard? I think long time ago I heard that he liked to bake cookies and he had his own vineyard. I don't know if that is
Yeah,
true, but I heard
he
that
started his own vineyard in the early 2000s, around 2005.
yeah.
Yeah, he has a vineyard. He
I
makes
remember
wine.
I heard that on a radio and people were talking about like, oh man, he's just not hard anymore because he makes wine and he bakes cookies. That's so he's not a hard rocker, you know.
Right.
He's wearing a baking smock and he chocolate chip cookies for I don't know. And I thought to myself, I don't know what's wrong with you. Chocolate chip cookies are delicious.
Yeah. Now, that's such a great example of how no matter who you are, everybody tries to put you in their box.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he's growing as an individual. He's growing as a human being. I'd rather see different things from people as they age. I think David Bowie was a good example of that. You know, going from Ziggy Stardust to at the end of his career, you know, you saw him as a dapper gentleman. You know,
Yeah.
so many artists travel in life's journey and change, and I think that's great.
You like I'm a fan. I haven't listened to this person, Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails, and I used to like him a lot when I was younger. I don't listen to as much music as I used to, um, but like I remember I would like he would come out with a new album, and people would be pissed because it wasn't as good or it wasn't like the previous album. I'm like, listen, man, you can't. Artists are not static. They're not going to be making the same stuff over and over again unless they just want to like become, unless they want you to be an ATM machine, you know. And I'm, that, and you got to understand that artists they change. You know, the music changes. An artist who makes work is going to do different things. They're not always going to do the same thing. You know, and I think I always find it so funny that that artists today you gotta do one thing and you gotta do it forever. You know, it's like what? Like I'm not gonna keep painting the same things over and over again. Sorry, I don't know. I don't care how many iterations you have me do it. Like I'm not gonna keep painting this for 5, 20 years, 5, 10, 20 years. Like unless it's really, really intriguing. You know, but I get it. Like, it's weird how, as you said, they put people in a box, and like, it's not fair to the artists for the consumer or the person who likes the art, the musician or the artist, to only expect them to do the things that the consumer or that person who bought their album or bought the artwork likes. You know, because like it's like this when you were a kid, you like candy bars and all the sweets, and now you're like when you're older, you might like sweets, but you're not going to be not like you were when you're a kid. When you're a kid, it was like drugs. It was super good. Like now, and you're like, oh, this is going to make me want to take a nap afterwards. This Snickers bar. What's that?
I'm guilty as charged on that.
With what? The candy?
Dude, I got a problem. I got a problem, man. I get them munchies and like in my house, there's no bread, there's no cookies, there's no crackers, there's no sweets, there's nothing in my house that's a junk food. There's no chips, there's no crap anywhere. Because if there was, I would eat it.
Yeah.
Like, if there's a bag of chips in the house and an apple, I'll eat that whole bag of chips, and the apple will go bad, and I'll throw it out. So when it comes to that candy, man, like I cannot take it. I can't even have it around. I don't even like. Yeah, I'll eat that whole box of ho hos. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah. I like. So I don't even. I can't. I don't even. I'm not around it.
I have a huge love and passion for home baked cookies, chocolate chip cookies, and I will just like a normal person will have like one, maybe two. I'll be like the person at like an open bar at a
Oh
at a,
shit!
at a at a wedding,
Yeah,
and I'll be right next to the cookies, and I'll eat them one after the other. I'm like the cookie monster. I'm like, even after I'm
man,
full and recognize that I'm full, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have another cookie, and I'll just eat
dude.
them.
2 weeks ago, I was at a fucking house party. It was a friend of mine's birthday,
Yeah.
uh, and they had a tray of cookies. And I thought that most of the night. I posted up next to that motherfucker. I'm telling you what, I thought I was being smooth. 3 here, 3 there, 3 there. Next thing I know, I look up. I'm in the kitchen, right? There's
Yeah.
6 women, 6 ladies sitting at the kitchen table, and they're yucking it up. Shots, full board. One of them goes, "Look at this guy over here. This guy's called me out." I'm like mid cookie, and the whole kitchen table ladies are interrogate. I'm like, "Hey, I'll eat all these fucking cookies. I ain't too proud. I'm right here. I'll do
they're here. It doesn't say how there's a limit. Uh, don't
it."
don't put the cookies out if you don't expect them to get eaten. You know? Yeah, I'll
And
eat
then
those cookies.
I like to write poetry, and I wrote a poem about damn what food was the chocolate chip cookies. I wrote a poem about chocolate chip cookies.
Hmm.
So
Do you know
yeah,
it? Do you want to share it?
man, I don't know it, but it was something like it was pandemic related, and it was like today I was at the grocery store and caught a disease. No cure, no vaccination. I was at its mercy. It was those chocolate chip cookies. Something like that.
There was a the since you said the word pandemic, the lat I used to have like a board game night, and this is kind of funny because the last board game that I played with my friends before everything went crazy, it was actually called Pandemic, and it was about a virus that went around, and like, needless to say, I think we lost the game. And they're like, we'll pick this up again next time. It was pretty fun. Let's try it again another day. Come back in a month. But nope, not anymore.
Dude, okay, you're setting the Vegas odds. You're taking the over, the under, that sales of the game Pandemic went up or down after the pandemic. What are you taking, the over, the under?
The what? The sales?
Yeah, do you think the sales of the game Pandemic went up
Oh,
during the pandemic or down during the pandemic?
I would have to say probably up. It was a
Well, I
good
tell you
game.
what, there's a freaking movie called Pandemic, and I was
Uh
at Redbox, and I was looking through Redbox, and there's a movie called Pandemic. I'm like, hell no, I ain't watching no fucking movie called Pandemic. Anything I'm at Redbox, I'm trying to forget about this shit.
huh. Hmm.
No, so it could go either way, but you're right. I don't know. Did Redbox sales of the movie Pandemic go up or down after the pandemic? It would be interesting. I don't know.
Do you know? Are you
I
sure?
do not, but I'm going with hell no. I don't want to watch a 2-hour movie about a pandemic during a pandemic.
Yeah, like I'm already experiencing this. I don't need to. I don't need
Yeah, I
to
don't need
watch.
to be reminded of that again. I'm here at Redbox to unremind myself of the pandemic.
Yeah, yeah. So could you share a little bit more about how you start your artwork? So you said you always have like a ton of ideas all at once, but like how do you start one piece? Sorry, excuse me.
Um, it's easy. Like I've already got 10 on deck and 3 in the works, and I'm I just make shit that I think's cool. Like I don't care. Like I'm not, I just, hey, what's cool? Like, well, shit, I think lots of things are cool. Pick, what I think's cool lately is
What?
all the work by Maynard James Keenan. I've throughout my life, I'm a deadhead, but throughout my life, ever since the first Tool album, I've been on board. And man, dude, check out the 2 new Pucifer albums. Incredible. The new Tool Fear Inoculum. It's just incredible. They're intelligent, artistic, creative, diverse, in your face.
Yeah.
Nothing that's commercial gonna get me commercial success. I don't know, but yeah, if whether I'm inspired by a person or a TV show or a song or a piece of art or a feeling or a movement or a part of a female body or what I'm inspired by or what I think is cool is just a nonstop flow of experiencing life. And like I might make a Matt Pierson piece. Look out.
Used to be like a bunch of mustaches or something or cookies.
Dude, I used to have a handlebar mustache. I'm always either changing my hair, shaving, or doing this or doing that. But I thought it would be funny to have a party. I looked into ordering. You can purchase these party packs of 100 fake mustaches of like 10 of each different style.
Yeah.
For like Halloween. Like, wouldn't that be funny? I want to have some theme. I'm gonna have a theme. I used to throw a lot of parties at my house, and we'll be again once things open up, and love having the theme parties. And how funny would it be like if everybody that came had to wear a mustache? Like even the chicks, like you get the little plastic mustaches, and like you have the 10 different styles, and everybody gets to come in, pick one, wear it for the night.
You would have it on the table for like name tags, but people just put it.
Right.
This one, Kelly, this one's for you. Savannah, here's yours, and Carl, there's yours. Steve, you already have one, so you're good. Right, something like that.
May I elaborate?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Check this out. Let me see if you can see this piece cross yonder. Is that it? Yeah, that piece right there is called the Conservatory. I can't really get any closer to it, but anyhow, it's got get a little closer. It's got some wooden figurines in it. So anyhow, I've got several statues that I made out of driftwood. They kind of look like people. I dressed them up like people.
Yeah.
I gave them names. The gentleman is Mr. Binks, the Hideous Gentleman. The Hideous Gentlemen are a band here in Alton that I really like. It started out, there was this fucking band in Alton I liked. I didn't know any of the guys. So I made a wooden statue and named it after their band and took it to one of their shows and just put it next to the stage. And they're like, I'm like, hey, what's going on? My name's Mike. I'm a local artist. I dig your shows. I named this piece of art after you guys. And they were like, dude, that's fucking dope. Now we need to have that guy at all our shows. Like, like people go with it. Like, when you're doing something fun and it was well received. So then I started naming other little wooden statues after other local bands that I liked.
Mm-hmm.
And then it wound up to where I got a bunch of them. So then I made them their own little home and their own little family. So I got Our Lady of Alton, Lady Dead Roses of Alton is the lady. They're a couple, Mr. Binks and Our Lady Dead Roses. And they got a little brother. His name is Biff Gnarly after another band. Well, anyhow, man, check it. So got this very large piece over here, which is a scene of them out and about town. It's probably 12 foot by 10 foot. So anyhow, later this year, I'm going to have a theme party. And it's going to have these two bands, the Hideous Gentlemen and the Dead Roses, two local bands. And Mr. Binks and Lady Dead Roses are going to get full wedding service. We're going to have two bands, a full wedding service, catering, a ceremony. I'm talking the whole motherfucking 9 yards. We're going to have people video it. We're going to shoot video, it's going to be a great opportunity for music videos, live show, live stream. It's going to be here at the conservatory. It's going to be whack. And it's going to be required that you're going to have to dress up as if you are going to a wedding of two mythological wooden figures. Now, what that means to you, it's going to mean something different to everybody. But don't show up in jeans and t-shirt and think you're going to get in. Like I'm talking about, I want 200 crazy-ass dressed people here, and we're going to have a beautiful event and film the whole thing. That's where I'm coming from, man. I like to do experiences. Like I know I do some art and it's visual, but the music, like Lollapalooza or Coachella, or let's have events where there's comedy and poetry and music and art and visual and let's make experiences rather like Burning Man. Let's I want to draw all the art and like here I want to start having they'll start having bands here at the conservatory once things open up. I want to start having theme parties or art shows, guest artists, guest poets, guest if whatever type of creator, let's all come together. Let's do something special. Let's find out who the passionate rapper is, and who are the passionate people in their field who are going to do it regardless of cost, of time. We all know a handful of musicians or artists that are driven to do it because that's what they are. That's like that musician who they're going to play it all day, every day, no matter if it catches on or not, because that's what they do. Like, I like hanging out with those people. I want to do things and attract those people and see, hey, can I bring some art to your music? Can you bring some music to my art show? Or,
All right. Do you have plans for those in the future?
Yeah. Everything's on hold.
On hold?
Everything's on hold. I got the bands are, when you come to somebody with an idea that's big and exciting, in general, they're on board. In general, the art people are like, hell yeah. Somebody needs to do something.
Yeah.
There's a few cool art, there was a few New Year's Eve, I don't know, was it on Cherokee? I went to, there's been a few crazy ass parties in downtown St. Louis with some cool art and some cool bands. Like they had 3 floors of bands and art. There's, 2720 Cherokees doing some cool shit. There's some people out there doing some cool stuff. I definitely enjoy, like you. Like I see that you are passionate about what you're doing and you're not getting paid for this. Yeah, I'm not getting paid for this either. But you're driven to buy new equipment and spend your time and use your talents and so I see you out in the world doing it without profit just because you're driven, and I
Yeah.
say, hey man, what's up?
Yeah. It's like $0.
Yeah,
Or as I like to say, $0 hairs. do you do you I would like to purchase one of your artworks for $2 million hairs, please.
I, you could buy 4 pieces for that.
For some doll hairs?
Uh, you could change that into dollars.
I'm starting a new cryptocurrency, Michael. It's called
Yeah.
doll hairs. And it's going to have an icon, DH, and it's going to have a face of a doll, like a little. Oh, that's going to be creepy. Just like, I don't know, so I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out as I go.
Don't think it's not possible. Somebody, I mean, I'm dead serious. That's where like Taylor Swift starts her own like clothing company and makes millions. Or like somebody in a completely field that there's totally has nothing to do with them take off
Yeah.
randomly. You never know. Like you might be the guy that starts the next cryptocurrency. Yeah.
That'd be funny. Doll hairs. You write it down. Doll hairs. It's done. It's on a new blockchain. Doll hairs cryptocurrency. It's going to be
for a lot of those.
you're going to get like 8 million shares for
I got a whole
$1.
trash bag of dolls.
What's that?
I've got a whole trash bag of dolls.
Can I? What's the exchange rate for actual dolls for doll hairs crypto?
Well, you'd be surprised because when you're looking for a couple garbage bags full of dolls, it's value. I know.
They do.
Listen, I'm part of a large group of artists who are all using certain things. Like I know this girl that uses skulls. I'm always looking for, like, I put it out there that I was looking for old Scrabble games. This other buddy of mine, he makes these giant collages out of dolls. He like spray paints and shit. I know this other friend is looking for broken TVs. I'm currently collecting broken speakers.
Yeah.
Like, so you start this little community. We're all looking for something, and I know a guy who I traded. See, I used to haul trash. I used to also work for We Buy Ugly Houses. I used to clean out houses that they would buy for cash. So I'd liquidate estates. And I still do some of that, like liquidate estates.
Yeah.
Like if you're selling your house and you want to get rid of all your shit, you might want to call me because I know people looking for God knows what, and I might be able to get rid of all your shit. Anyhow, but yeah, I cleaned out an estate. I had 3 trash bags full of dolls, and they were in this abandoned house, and these cats had been pissing on them for years. I'm talking like, I had 3 trash bags of old dolls that were saturated in cat piss, and I got about $600. I traded it for about $600 for the art, like finished product.
Mm.
And they're fabulous. Fabulous.
People love cat piss. It's a commodity.
So then I went back over to this dude's house, and he's like, "Go look in that barrel." Homeboy had a 55-gallon barrel full of dolls, water, and bleach. Can you imagine if you were the neighbor or the police and you like randomly open the lid of this 55-gallon drum and there's just like babies for, I mean, like, wait, artists are weird people. They got some weird shit going on. Like, but I've seen it. I've seen a. How many people have seen a 55-gallon drum of dolls floating in water? I don't know. I mean, that's what I'm saying, dude. I don't know. I really need to wear a permanent body cam.
GoPro.
I'm telling you, I can make a reality show. Somebody needs to be following me around or something, because it's fun.
You could probably trade a few pieces of art and have someone follow you around for a month or for 2 months or for 3 months while you make one of your large pieces and then do like a documentary.
I need to find a young, inspired documentarist that is looking to have some fun. Did you ever watch that show, Rob and Big?
Yeah.
Wasn't that funny? And I was just like, hey, we're going to go do some stupid shit. Watch this. And I was like, damn.
Like I watched one episode where Rob just decided to randomly like set like 30 Guinness Book of World Records or something like that. Because he was a professional skateboarder, and there was apparently a big vacuum in how many skateboarding records there were, and he just decided to make a bunch of skateboarding records, and that's what he did.
Totally what I'm talking about.
We have a person here who used.
Did you see the one where he was Bobby Light?
Was that when he was a stripper? Wait.
He sang a song where he dressed up like a rapper.
Oh no. I haven't seen that show in forever. I think they don't have it. But like I didn't watch a lot of MTV. Was it on MTV or some sort of TV? It was on something.
Yeah,
it was
something like that.
Yeah. That's the only one I remember the most. I always thought I was like weird. Like this guy's paying he's paying this security guard like hundreds of thousands a year or something like that. I don't know. He's paying him a lot of money to basically be a security guy, right? But he's also his buddy, and he's like his friend. So like, I was like, well, wait, that's interesting. I haven't seen it forever. This is one person who said they used eggshells, sand, and a cigarette in one of their paintings, and then they say they love the person says they love my hat.
Oh,
it's a good hat.
Well, I think we should celebrate our first comments. That's fantastic.
Oh, we got a ton of comments. Yeah, one is I don't know what this one did like an emoji, but I can't really see it. It's like good call. And then there's like I love a good story. Those at the very beginning, and then the other one was there's a few other one that want me to jump into your artwork a little bit and your inspiration. And then recently was the eggshells bit. So we got some comments. You know, people are talking. It's almost like a we're so close to being thoughts. You know what a thought is? Not like a thought.
I know something about a thought.
It's apparently it's a thing in Twitch, on Twitch streaming where very attractive ladies just do. Well, they don't do really anything on there. They just they'll stream and they'll situate the camera so it's revealing, and sometimes they'll talk about nothing, or sometimes they won't even say a thing, and then they'll just get a huge feed of comments. So we're about there. We need about like 50,000 more comments in a video, but we're close. Baby steps.
It starts with the first bite.
Yeah, and well, one thing, Michael, is that we just gotta become. I can't. I don't know what I was gonna say. We just got to become a thought. When I heard about the word thoughts or thought, I was like, what are you talking about? Thoughts? Are you like, and I thought that thoughts was like a name for Twitch hotties. I don't know
Oh,
why. Because that's what I thought it was, but apparently it means something else. Whatever.
you know what? I'm learning that all the time. All the time, I'm learning that. Oh, what you're saying means something else. I
Yeah,
try to
yeah. I
work
don't.
on that shit, but you know, try to help a brother out. If I'm, you know, yeah, I'm interested in, you know, new language trends. So,
Yeah, I don't
uh,
know either. It's all new to me. I'm not in that realm, and I don't have time. You know, I mean, you're a busy guy. You don't. You're like I don't. I'm too busy making 10-foot installation pieces. I don't have time to as you said, like I don't have the internet. I don't have time to get on the internet and play games or watch other people play games. I don't have that kind of time. I'm making big pieces here. I got stuff to
I,
do.
I do have time for language. Like, you know, we just dialed it up earlier. So,
Yes,
you know,
dialed. We dialed.
right.
Scruffy dial.
Scruffy's on that dial.
All right. Do you? I don't know. How can I ask this question? Do you have any special techniques with your artwork? Like, what are some little tricks that you've kind of learned through your construction of your pieces that have helped you along the way?
I would say I went to trade school to be a Harley Davidson mechanic.
Okay.
Uh, and I've also, I didn't do that very long, but I've done home remodeling. I'm pretty good. Like I used to work for a very expensive kitchen and bathroom remodeling place. I'm a very good carpenter
I can tell.
compared to normal people. But anyhow, I would say that's where my ace in the hole, because I can wire it. I've got pieces that have plumbing in it. I've got, you know, um, I can build a large piece. I can trim it. I can wire it. I can paint it. Um, I'm a very poor skilled artist in the realm of traditional drawing. I
Hmm.
cannot. I can't draw. I can't draw at all. Now, I'm not saying you have to be able to draw to make good art, but I'm not trying to say I'll tell you. You know, I'm not good at that stuff. I'll be just whoever wants to listen can hear that. I seem to
So
lose my train of thought frequently.
yeah, yeah. So construction has helped you.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'd say that yeah, that's kind of my ace in the hole. Is what I do well is the nuts and bolts building of things that either have moving parts or light up, or I don't have to hire a framer, or you know, I guess that's my strength.
So shoebox. One second, Michael. Shoebox. Michael is actually in front of his one of his pieces. So like the piece that you see glowing, that's his actual artwork. So if you're wondering what his artwork looks like, he's sitting right in front of it. So maybe you can pivot around. So he basically makes these really large, like what would you call them? I want to know. Are they like assemblage, sculpture, installation? What would you categorize your art to be? Because they're like a medley of things. There's neon lights. You got epoxy. You got expensive
Mm-hmm.
framing. You got collage work. A lot of things are in those pieces. I like. it could be like I would refer it to like maybe mixed media sculpture. What would you?
Yeah.
How would you?
That would probably be the best description. Mixed media sculpture. That's
Yeah,
the right there.
yeah. He does some really amazing work, Shoebox. They're like they glow. They got neon lights on them. And they're 3-dimensional. They pop off the wall. They're extremely heavy and large. And they're really quite something to see. The camera is not doing it justice because
No, if you were
yeah.
here in person, and this is my old phone, that the picture on it is just really bad. Like you can't even tell what you're looking at when you're looking at it. But me and Bruce hanging out. Yeah, this camera. Listen, man, I'm not even kidding. Get down here, please, to the conservatory in Alton, Illinois. I will change your life. You're not. You know the first time you remember the first time you went to City Museum?
Yeah.
Of course
No, I don't.
you do.
No,
Yes,
I don't.
you do.
I think they served alcohol then.
Well,
I can't.
I used to
I
work at
remember
City
it.
Museum.
Yeah.
Yeah, during the time where Bob Castley was still alive and when he was doing stuff, and that definitely, you know, I'm talking about influences.
Yeah. He
Man,
he did some
you
crazy
walk into
stuff.
City Museum and your mind is opened wide open. You're like, I
Yeah.
did not know anything like this could exist. It pushes your mind to realize what is possible. And
With found objects.
like, what are you going to do with 5,000 broken gears? Listen,
Yeah.
if I can get my hands on 1,000 of anything, something's getting made.
Mhm.
Like I'm always looking
Yeah.
for something, and I like bulk. If it has visual interest already, and I can get it in bulk, or say it has a nostalgia to it, I'm constantly buying up everything I see that gets my attention.
Yeah.
So when I'm just out picking up random weird shit and then making collages out of it.
Yeah. You're like you're a man with a passion. You know.
That I am. I will guarantee that.
Because you know, a lot of people that I know, you know, probably wouldn't would want to work just to sell the artwork. You know, you're making work for you, right?
Not only do I not make any money, I lose every penny I make. And you know what? Like, it's not good. Like on kind of seriously, like if my vehicle broke down or if I got sick, I'd be screwed. Like I'm like by no means am I saying that this is a good idea. I'm in a position where I don't have any kids. My house is paid for. My car's I bought my house for 12 grand.
Mm-hmm.
I live in a poor area, to say the least. My vehicle costs $1,500 and is a piece of junk and on flat legs. I don't even want to tell you if I say I spent probably $3,000 in materials on my last piece, plus 40 hours of my time, plus transporting it, setting it up, and I've never had more fun. I don't give a shit if nobody's buying something that's 10 foot by 12 feet. And I don't give a shit if anybody buys it or not. But I'm telling you what, I'm having a good time. And when somebody does come along and buys that, it ain't gonna be cheap.
You're gonna be putting you're putting in your pennies. No, what I like to call is like your artwork is like a scratcher. you
Mhm.
every time you finish a piece, you're you're uh, you're scratching off another opportunity to for someone to see your work, you know,
Yeah.
and there's places for those pieces. You already have a place, but there's people and people and places that I'm sorry, there's places and people with money to burn who would love to have that work hung up in their house, and
Mhm.
with the wall space, um, with Shoebox wants to know if you listen to music. You said you listen to music, but while you work. But like, what kind of music do you listen to, and how does it inspire you? If it does,
Um, I have an extremely diverse taste in music: country, classical, hard rock, rap. Um, I'm a deadhead. Jazz, blues, hip hop, soul. Um, Recently, I've been all about um, the three latest Maynard James Keenan albums, which are the Tool, Fear Inoculum, Pussifer, Existential Reality, and Pussifer, Conditions of My Parole.
yeah,
Man, I get on, listen to that real heavy.
yeah,
I'd say secondly to that, soul, soul music.
yeah.
Sharon Jones, Lee Fields, Leon Bridges, Michael Kiwanuka. Um, yeah, lately I've been into that Miles Davis. Um, that's what I've been into lately. But I go on these tangents where uh, I'll listen to classical music only
Yeah.
for like a week.
Hmm.
Um, so kind of depends on what I'm working on or what I'm doing. But lately it's been classical, soul, and Maynard James Keenan stuff.
I is correct me if I'm wrong. How recent was that album? Was it really recent? Was it within the
Man,
last year?
the the Fear Inoculum was last year. All three of those albums, I believe, are within a year old or so.
Okay, because I recalled listening on the radio that a lot of people were. I don't know if this is true. Did it hit like in the top 10 or get to number one for a while in the charts?
I I have no idea.
I could have sworn that their album for a brief stint hit number one, and people were like, who the heck is this band? Like, no, like, because you have all the, like, you're like Taylor Swift, uh gosh, Ariana
Yeah,
Grande,
right.
and then all like the pop singers. Then you had like Tool number one, like, and everyone was pissed that this they thought this band was like a nobody band, right? Like they were mad that it got number one, and they were like, we gotta start bumping up Taylor and Ariana to get this whoever this is off the charts. That's what
Mhm.
I don't recall if that's true. Maybe it could be all made up. Maybe I'm just making this all up. But I could have sworn I heard a story or something on the radio talking about that, and I'll be like, I remember it because I was like, no, that sounds about right. I could see that happening, because they're actually really, 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 really good. You know?
So
That's what I
this
thought.
piece, this piece right here behind me, that's got every Tool and Perfect Circle CD ever made on it. It's got the entire Tool and Perfect Circle um, CD catalog.
Are the CDs in there?
They are not. No,
Well,
they don't leave my CD player.
Well, what would have been it would have been funny if someone's like, "Oh, I'll see what's in here." And if the window wasn't blocking and someone opened them, like, "There's actual CDs in this here." Like, I don't.
Check this out. Right next door, I've got several pieces at Alton Music Exchange,
Yeah,
and they're music themed. And I've got a piece that has like 500 cassette tapes in it,
yeah.
and all the cassette tapes are in a box. So if you buy it's like a cityscape, uh, and it's also kind of looks like the levels on a equalizer. Anyhow,
Hmm.
it's an artwork. It's got 500 cassette tape covers in it, so you can look in there. You can see all the different bands and stuff. But if you buy the artwork, you get the 500 cassette tapes, so you can listen to all the different music that's in the artwork.
When you listen to music, wait, sorry. Uh, do you have a vinyl record player? Do you listen? And if you do you listen to it?
Um, yes and yes. I mean, last year I sold it. I got so broke last year. I sold 1,000 of my records.
Oh,
I still probably got about 1,200 records. I kept all the ones that were like zero scratches. Um, I had 2,200 records and like 2,000 cassette tapes, and then started making art out of them. But I still have maybe, I don't know, around 1,000 records and probably around 1,000 cassette tapes.
hmm.
Yeah, I'm old school like that. Like I don't have any streaming music. I just have CDs and records and tapes.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that like listening to that stuff. Well, not that stuff, but like, I hear this. I don't know if this is true. I hear there's an upswing in that. Like, people want to start listening to records and cassettes because everything's just too clean, too mechanical, too digital, too void of human error. Maybe, I don't know. Shoebox wants to know if you have any well-known artists that are a big influence on you.
You know what? I will say Andy Warhol comes to mind,
Hmm.
but so much less. It's not because I think he's a great artist. It's because I study what becomes popular and why. And he's certainly like a soup can.
Yeah.
You know, I'm really feeling that because when I'm using pictures of Maynard or pictures of Bruce Lee in my art, you get these people crawling out of the woodwork being like, "You didn't take that picture," or like that's not your idea, or so. What you're telling me is the soup can doesn't exist. I mean,
Yeah.
come on now. I mean, not to say I'm saying that, man. That's the poster child for, man. Just do you, and don't give a fuck. Because when you're buying a picture of a soup can, you ain't buying it because it's technically a masterpiece. You're
Yeah.
buying it because that dude's a weird nut,
Yeah.
and he's got something to say. And so much of art, the study of why people buy art, the banana, $150,000 banana. Like, I'm always fascinated with what makes something valuable. What is value? What is talent? What is skill? Like none of that almost even matters. It's more like a feeling.
Hmm.
Like I'm saying, like you buy a painting of a soup can. It's not even a very good painting, and people are clubbing each other clubbing each other over the head trying to get them right. Um, but I like that about art. I think you do buy a little piece of the artist and what that means to you when you buy a piece of art. Like if I want to buy a piece of art, it's almost always from somebody weird that's just doing something weird that, that you're like, damn, now that dude's out there. I love these little trinket things you're making, and I know you ain't making no money making them things, and that must take you an obscene amount of time. And man, that's brilliant. Like some of the creations, um, I guess the artists that inspire me are the strange local people that I see making stuff. Man, there's a young man who's probably older. Well, there's a gentleman who was a kid who had autism that makes replica of bridges in St. Louis. And you would, when I used to live in St. Louis, and you'd see this kid on a bicycle riding down the street with this replica of a bridge made out of popsicle sticks on the back of his bike. And you'd see him every day, or, you know, like there's stories in the news about that kid, but there's always that one weird eccentric person that they might even be homeless, but they're making something, or, you know, or, and they're just driven to do it. I find those things interesting. But other than Andy, like, I took art appreciation in college, and as many art history classes. I do like, I would say, I'm not very knowledgeable, but we'll just call them the old masters. You know, Michelangelo. You know, the old classical art, and I think that kind of comes through in some of my stuff because I love those really big, wide, gaudy gold frames with all the detail. And like one of the ways I like to describe my art is this: Napoleon had a picture of a unicorn. That's the kind of shit I would do. Like, you know, 10-foot fucking, like something you'd see a Russian czar, like you'd see in like a public Russian building, like this gigantic freaking war scene, like with the fantastically large frame, you know, but I would do it where, like, you know, they're riding unicorns and pinching each other's butts or something. You know, I don't know. Like, I am influenced by that older type stuff.
Yeah, you do have those large frames on your pieces, and yeah, those frames are those Renaissance and classical paintings with those large frames. They're something. Like when you see those photos in books, you're like, you don't realize how large those paintings are. Like it's deceiving, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Michael. Hey, Michael.
Yeah.
How you doing? How you doing over there, Michael?
I'm doing pretty good.
You're doing pretty good, Michael. Hey,
Yeah.
Mike.
That's right.
Could you, if you could, sorry, I'm stuttering. Do you have any advice to give to artists? What kind of advice can you give to artists, to other artists?
Don't listen to anybody. Now, well, let's move it this way. You can listen to people. Just don't feel like they know anything about what you like. You know, people telling me, "Oh my God, a constant barrage of who's your market? Nobody's going to buy that."
Oh.
I mean, you know, like, I do have advice for artists, especially young artists or anybody that wants to create anything. If you want to sing, if you want to write a poem, if you want to try and be funny, if you want to do anything, you just do it for you. Do what makes you happy. You do what you think looks good, sounds good, feels good. Screw all other advice. If I had taken anyone's advice, I would have never made any of the shit that I made. And I like making stuff in a kind of a like it kind of excites me if I can shock you in just in your face, like, you know, glue some 45-pound plates on a, like I want to be little in your face, like, I don't give a shit, and I'm going to show you. And so my advice to other artists is to grow, find what you like, and don't be influenced by any negativity in any way at all.
Someone's playing Cranberries or doing a Cranberries cover.
They are now playing Cranberries.
Is that a band in the background, or is that an actual album?
That currently is the sound system, but some dudes showed up with some instruments earlier. They were jamming.
Yeah. With regards to what you said, the whole like, where's your market? Where are you going to find people to buy that? Why don't you paint or draw or do things that people will buy? Yeah. Or what about like well, as you said, if you followed the advice of everyone that was telling you what to do, you would not have made anything. And I would probably bet that you might not even be happy.
Oh, I mean, no, miserable.
Yeah, you'd probably be really, really sad.
No, I've really done a pro job of avoiding responsibility and doing pretty much whatever I want, and that's where I want to be.
Yeah. Well, you have a kernel responsibility, because the amount of labor and work that you have to do to make this high caliber craftsmanship takes some responsibility. You don't want to make a piece that's going to fall off the wall because you decided to use.
No, that's real talk. Real talk. I mean, that, like, man, check it. Like, I used to do all this outdoor sculpture stuff, and I still got some in my yard. I got pictures on my Facebook. But I made like a 10-foot tall butterfly, and I had a maybe like a 8-foot long by 6-foot wide dragonfly. And I took him to the Mississippi Earth Tones Festival here in Alton, and so I had this. Which one fell on that? Anyhow, I think it was my butterfly. But anyhow, I've got like a 60-pound log on a 10-foot pole with these wings that are made out of wire and chicken wire, and the butterfly is probably 10 foot tall, and the wind catches it, and this falls on a family that was sitting at a picnic. I watched the whole thing. I was sitting right there. I saw the wind. I saw it happen. Basically, this 10-foot pole with a 60-pound log came and just clocked this lady, this grandmother. It came down on this family that was kind of near a picnic table, and the old lady jumped in front of this little kid that was in a stroller and got clocked. And luckily she was okay. She had a knot on her head, but she was one of them country old tough ladies. Like, I don't think she went to the hospital. I'm guarantee it rung her bell and she got a bruise.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, a lot of my stuff, safety is a priority. Going through trade school or being on construction sites and stuff like that, I'm very aware of safety is number one priority.
Yeah, especially because the mechanics of it. You mean making these really large, heavy pieces. I mean, let's go back to that epoxy piece that's 200 pounds. How are you holding that on a wall?
I've got 4 hooks mounted in the basically the roof rafters or the ceiling joist. I've yeah, but I mean I've got everything in here hung on something, but um, I'm very qualified for the mechanical part. Like
Yeah.
I like overkill. I think overkill is hot. So
It's dial.
right, that's just dial. You're catching, yeah, you got it, man. You got it.
Oh man, totally dial,
And
man.
I'm out for complete total overkill. So if it needs to handle 100 pounds, it'll handle 200 or 300 by the time I get done with it.
Yeah, it's better safe than sorry.
Right? Yeah.
You know, I know
If it crashes
when
to the ground, not only will the venue get hurt, but my piece will be destroyed. So
yeah.
ain't nobody got time for that.
We have a question here from Shoebox. Do you create your work and take in consideration to create it to last hundreds of years from now, or are you just doing it for
Yes.
like, you know? Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I've owned. There's a few paintings I've owned for 30 years.
Oh yeah.
I'm 49. I mean, I know that works last hundreds of years. I know that these works will be around long after I'm gone. And the stuff I make, unless they're in a fire, they ain't going nowhere. Like, yeah, well after I'm gone, lots of my stuff will be around.
Very cool.
You ain't gonna misplace this and throw it out because, I mean, you know, most of your stuff that's poster size, you know, it goes by the wayside. You buy something that's 10 foot by 6 feet, and you're probably not gonna just throw it in the trash when you're done with it.
Yeah, you would actually have to have a crew. You know, you'd have to have at least two people. So like,
Maybe.
and at least two people to. What's that?
I'd say you're gonna need it. You know, three men in a truck just to get rid of it.
Yeah, and they're like, most people would be like, man, I gotta call my friend to get a truck. I don't know if I want to do that. Well, we'll just keep it hung up on the wall for 20 more years. You know? Right? Rather have that happen.
Right.
Maybe. Michael, do you have a dream project that you would love to do? Like something let's just say money, no object. Like money is not an object. Like you have unlimited funds, you have unlimited space, you have a crew of people that you can dispose of and help you. What's that?
Meow Wolf.
Meow Wolf?
Meow Wolf. There's somebody that's like Walmart rich that like bought. There's a place similar to City Museum. I guess what I'm trying to say is yes, and I would make another City Museum. Like there's a place similar to City Museum called Meow Wolf. It's in Arizona, and dude, look it up. It's hot. It's real hot. It's this guy has like something bigger than Alton Mall, and he turned it into like the artist ninja clan from hell. Like it's just every good artist in the country. Like he's paying them to just do them, and they're going buck wild crazy. It's basically like a City Museum.
Are you going to call it Cooleyverse?
Oh, correct pronunciation would be Cooliverse.
Cooliverse.
The way I like it, yeah, kind of like Universe. Cooliverse, Universe.
So I totally slaughtered that introduction when I said Cooleyverse. Did I say Cooleyverse or Cooliverse?
Cooliverse. it's similar to universe. Like I said, instead of universe, it'd be universe. So I'm going with the cooliverse. But check it
Cooliverse.
out, dude. You know how we were just talking about your word dial. Well, anyhow, I like sitting around thinking about words. And speaking of crunk, so I made up this word, cooliverse. I fucking Googled it. It's a completely 100% new word, which is shocking. That I could, like, I'm sure it's possible, but anyhow. So I bought the domain name. I entered it into Urban Dictionary. I'm working on maybe some trademark logo type shit. So yeah, man, I've started the Cooliverse. It's the universe of all things cool, which is unlimited, and it's both a noun, a verb, an adjective. It's like state of mind. It's a brand. It's actions, like acting cool. It's feelings. You feel cool. I mean, if you think about the word cool, I mean, it's got legs, man. It kind of travels. And I also like collecting this cool cigarette memorabilia.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
cool be true. There's only one way to play it. Play it cool. They got all these. I mean, I don't know. I love all that like 70s cool, funky disco advertising type shit. But anyhow, it's real, man. You're on board. You're officially a member of the Cooliverse, man.
All right. Do I have to pay dues?
Well, not yet. But
But it's happening.
I'm having all these gold membership cards about the size of a credit card printed up. They're all going to be numbered.
Oh
So
yeah.
if you buy a piece of my art, you get a membership into the Cooliverse, and your membership card gets you into all the Cooliverse events, like the wedding of Mr. Binks and Our Lady Dead Roses. So in the future,
Michael,
if I have yeah,
go ahead. Go ahead.
no, go ahead, brother.
I was just gonna say, Michael, I don't think I could afford one of your pieces. And I don't even have a room for I don't even have the room.
You might be able to. Um, I don't need to sell anything, and I like my shit a whole lot.
Yeah.
That Maynard piece is the Maynard piece. It would take 50 grand right now for me to come off the Maynard piece.
Woo. I think
Now,
you can find someone for it.
That's my Cadillac Jack. That's top of the line, but I'm not playing around. I mean, like, yeah, I'm not trying to sell anything.
Yeah.
I'm wanting to sell some shit, but I'm not trying real hard.
It is, and the thing is, is that your goal to sell, or is your goal to make? And
My
then,
goal
yeah, I
is
guess,
to be free, and I'm already free.
so
Like,
there
I
you
could
go.
get a little freer if I didn't have to like work to eat.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm literally right now. I'm getting by. I'm barely feeding myself with no emergencies.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with it. Like, as long as I just don't care. I don't care about having a nice car. I don't care about being able to buy. I want to be able to make as much stuff as I can.
Yeah.
And right now, in order to do that, I'll have to remodel a few kitchens and take out the trash, or or whatever's going on. But uh, I can sell things and have even more freedom. Than that is the goal for sure.
Yeah. Well, you're chasing your dream, man. You're and of course, selling artwork is a whole other topic, but also selling artwork is like it's just like, icing on the cake. If you sell it, great, right? If you don't sell it, not it might it's okay. What really matters is it hanging somewhere that people can appreciate it, Is it somewhere that people can look at it, enjoy it? Is that more important? Probably, I would like to think so. And I think you're doing that.
Why rap? Why rap? Because I need airtime. Jadakiss. It means, yes, almost all artists or musicians, they'll do it for free because they're driven to do it. But you know what? Have a fucking ego. Like, I think so many people get so, you can have some confidence, you can have some dreams, you can have an ego and not be a complete dick. I mean,
Yeah.
or at least I'm, like it's a fine line too. Like, oh, look at me, look at me, look at me. Oh, well, like you're an asshole. Well, I mean, is Elton John an asshole? Is fucking, Lady Gaga an asshole? I mean, maybe they are. I don't know. But somebody's got to do something fun. And if it takes fucking a certain personality to break the atmosphere to reach space, you need as much diversity in people as you revel in that someone's an idiot. Like, at least do something different. But I mean, I love diversity. People are interesting. Be yourself. Do something that maybe is unconventional. If you want to have purple hair or have your nose, or it starts somewhere and goes somewhere else. But I ain't player hating on nobody.
Or hating any players.
Right. Unless they step, and then maybe.
Unless they what?
Unless they step, then you never know. I mean, I think they're along those. I love these conversations where, like, who's the good guy, who's the bad guy. It's kind of like you can take either side of the argument almost. Where was I going with that? What did you just ask me?
I don't know. Favorite bakery to go buy scones.
Luciano's.
Luciano's?
Right down the street, Luciano's.
All right. No, I don't recall. But continue.
Yeah.
Filibuster.
Hey, would you like to hear a joke?
Oh, I'd love to hear a joke. Yes, throw it now, at me.
I like jokes, and I would love to be able to write jokes or remember jokes, but when I hear a good joke, I cannot remember it 5 minutes later. But I have one joke that I've got one joke, and here it is.
Okay.
What's the difference between chicken fried steak and chicken fried chicken?
I don't know what's the difference between them. What is it?
One chicken. These are the things I think about. It's like, okay, there's this thing. You're familiar with the food product called chicken fried steak, right?
Yes.
It just seems kind of thought-provoking, right? I mean, haven't you ever thought about, like, why is it called chicken fried steak?
Yes, I haven't, but I'm gonna say yes. That's like a go-to at like. What's that?
No, that's similar to the street name conversation we had. Just random shit that is just nonsense, but I think it's fun.
Yeah, yeah, totally dial.
It's like it's like making something come to fruition. So you right. This you get me. This is how we do it. Like, how do you start a revolution? You dial it in. Just dial like that's somewhere somebody for the first time said something, and that word is now fuck. Like, who is the first person to say fuck? Like, if that dude should have coined that shit, he'd be very rich.
Trademark, right? Is that what you do?
Dial.
All right, Michael. Dial, yeah. Michael, could you share some words of wisdom, some life advice for the audience?
Love one another.
One another.
That's love. Try to find a place of love. Like, everybody has problems. Everybody's got struggles. Everybody, especially nowadays, like, if your kids were growing up in this time, or you're trying to support a family, or life's tough on everybody and a lot harder on most people than me. Try to be good to one another. Try to spread love. Try to, you don't know what that person who's, we all have our bad moments.
Yeah.
And in those moments, be kind to one another. Other advice would be allow yourself. First of all, allow yourself to be who you want to be. So many people will have their expectations on who you are.
Yeah.
And that could be your closest friends and family. Try to find a way to be you in a free way. And if the people around you can't catch on, then try getting some new peeps.
Yeah.
In addition, allow those around you to be free individuals. Like, no time to be hating on people for their skin color, religion, political, party, what they drive, how much money they got, what their fucking hair looks like, what they wear. Like, encourage your own freedom and allow others to be their own free selves. And I think this also, for me recently, has crossed into a, everybody's got a vice, maybe. We all have things that become an unhealthy an unbalanced, something unhealthy. For me, it'd be alcohol or smoking pot, or that's about it. But I know a lot of alcoholics and a lot of people on drugs and people throughout their life who have fought addiction. For my whole life, I've fought addiction. The people I hang out with fight addiction. It's all good to have fun. But within that, I want to encourage people to find their balance. Like, if you're currently hurting and you're out of balance and you're maybe drinking a little too much or whatever your poison is, other people are going through that too. Other cool people who, and if people are too cool to listen to, that you're having trouble holding your job or get, if I've run several times in my life, I've run myself into the ground where I thought I was going to die. And, if you're lucky, you find a balance You know, if you're lucky, the people around you help you find that balance. Once again, it's people around you. You know, I think I've left my, I've moved around a lot, especially when I was younger, and you know, if I was still in my hometown where I was in my early 20s, it might have been, I'd still be sitting on the same bar stool. Like, you know, I like to, in my early 20s, I like to go out, like to party, like get to bars, like, and so did all my friends. And yeah, we had a mighty party crew.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, sooner or later that'll catch up with you, you know, and knock on wood, I don't know how I ever avoided getting a DUI, but I've never had a DUI. But, you know, whether it's getting hurt, or hurting yourself, or hurting somebody else, or losing your job or your life or your, well, you know, like, hey, everybody, have a good time out there. Be responsible. And if you know somebody that's hurting, uh, man, it's just been a lot of suicides, a lot of drug overdoses, a lot of, you know, anxiety, depression. It all feeds back into that loved one and other thing. Like, those are all opportunities to, I don't know. I enjoy this rambling. It doesn't always have a point or make sense, but somehow some people get understand me. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I may not make technical sense, but I'm trying to explain something that is random thoughts flying through my brain. So anyhow,
They say you have to speak it out loud, or like, or not everyone, but a lot of people have to speak out their thoughts so that they can understand how to organize them. It's a way of thinking, you know. So you're talking right now, and you think that you're not making sense. But you're basically trying. What I am gathering, it feels like you're just trying to slowly dial in. Darn it!
guys,
So slowly dial in the concept, the idea of what where you're trying to go. Like you're trying to focus that idea, right? And you're taking this big concept of being of love people, love one another, be kind, you know, respect people, right? And then you funneled it into a small, like, microcosm of like how the lack of love or lack of friendship or companionship or seeing people can lead to, or has led to, some people drinking too much or partaking in too much in drugs, or getting a little bit heavy on the other thing. And then you're trying to say that there's got to be balance between the two. You can't just have one, but you can't just have one. You got to have both, or at least that's how I am seeing what you're trying to talk about. And then again, I'm doing the same thing, so I'm doing exact same rambling because I'm trying to make sense of what you're saying as well. And I get it. I dig it. Yeah.
I know you get it because I can tell that you're involved in your health and you're also involved in your creative side. And those are my peeps right there, man. Like firing on all cylinders.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the people who say, "Oh, I could never be an artist," I'm like, no, 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 no. Like, some people, be easy on yourself. Some people are just too hard on themselves. You
Yeah.
know, um, I ain't doing anything that probably a 9-year-old couldn't do in some form or fashion. Like, uh, yeah. everybody go for theirs.
Hey, Michael, I have another question. This isn't my question. I'm actually Shoebox is given all the cool questions.
Nice.
So Shoebox
I'm
wants
a
to
shoe
know,
junkie, by the way.
huh?
I'm a shoe junkie, by the way.
Shoe junkie? How many pairs of shoes do
Yeah.
you have?
Well, probably 20, but I like some pretty loud shit. I got some blue velvet shoes. I got, some vintage. I like loud ass 70s big lapel, like vintage clothing.
Mm-hmm.
Whoop, whoop. Anyhow, what's Shoebox up to?
Shoebox wanted to know if you have ever collaborated with another artist, kind of like Warhol and Basquiat, Picasso and Matisse.
Not really, but I'm constantly trying. No, well, you get all these people who be like, "Oh man, hey, we got to do this," and then they never follow through, and they say they are, and then they don't show up, and then they say they are, and then they call you back. And I tell you what, if you're coming, you better bring it, because I ain't got no time for all, like, that's not who I'm rolling with. That's
Yeah.
no. Like if you if you're not on fire, you better be. Yeah, you want to do something great? Let's go do something great. But if you're gonna dilly dally around, and you're gonna get cut from the squad, because I got my own shit. Listen, I'm going. I got my own shit to do over here, and if you ain't got something to bring to the table, if you're not, you can't even show up, I've done moved on from you.
This is not JV league. This is varsity.
I'll take a JV amateur with heart over any, I just want some people with some passion. I don't care if you're a middle schooler. Like, I like kid art. There's some,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's, any age, but I wouldn't mind running into a seriously passionate high schooler with no direction. Like, yeah, that wouldn't bother me a bit.
So you've had people contact you, but just kind of fell through.
Well, I've done some things with some photographers, but then I don't know. It's like, you're a photographer. Pay, print some fucking photos out.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I run into all these people that, I want to do. I'm working. I love technology. I want to work with a projection mapper. It's Lightform and these other, where you walk into a room and the whole room looks like a forest, and then poof, it looks like ruins, and then poof, or there's laser light show, or fuck. Have you seen those the drones, like what the Chinese Olympics do with the drones or whatever, like lights and these flying things that are all computer robot,
Generated?
Yeah, anything with technology. I want to work with poets, or or use, like, hey, let's do a collaboration of different types of art. I want to do it with the right people at the right time in the right situation, and that really hasn't come about.
Yeah.
But I'm constantly trying. I was supposed to have a projection map artist here this evening, and they'll come around. They're passionate and they want to do it, but it's like you're working at Pizza Hut, and you need to take a shift because you're trying to make ends meet, and you couldn't be here tonight. And hey, that's real talk. I mean, I know there's a lot of people who want to follow a dream, but if it ain't paying, they gotta, shoot. Like Kurt Warner was sacking groceries before he won the Super Bowl. Like, there's a lot of people who are real talented that are grinding it out of 9 to 5 because it just didn't happen for them.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm in the same boat. I understand working, to make ends meet, and then art is like, like a side hustle, and I like one of those things like you refuse to acquiesce
Yeah.
to outside forces to do what people. The thing is, if you do what you think people want, for one, you're going to do it either half-ass or it's going
Be
to
a job.
yeah, it's going to be a job, or it's going to be like a gosh, gosh darn. I think being a job is close to it. It's definitely going to suck the life out of it, the fun out of it. So, or it's going to be disingenuous because it's you're like going through the motions, I guess, right? And
Yeah.
you're just you're doing what people want, and you're doing it just so that you can make a quick buck. And again, I don't think that's a bad thing. If you want to, like, some people need to make money, but sometimes, uh, like it's a weird. I don't know. I don't really want to get into it. Like it's a weird. It's a weird thing to do where you are making work that is your work, but because it's made by your hand, but it's also not your work because it's your the consumer influences are dictating what you're making a little bit more, right? So you're more trapped and that goes back to like the whole Nine Inch Nails thing where we're talking about how why doesn't Trent Reznor make the work,
The
his
same album
old
10
work?
times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
um, yeah. And to kind of piggyback off that question, I can understand the trials and tribulations of collaboration. It's difficult. Yeah. At first, like it can work out really good, and then if it does well, which to an extent when I did a collaboration, it did well. Uh, it did so well that uh, 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 like not personalities, but money became an issue, and it wasn't really money for me that became an issue. It was more like um, the other artists wanted more. I guess I don't know. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, like like that old game that came about was like money. Like it's like yeah. So it's collaborations. That's tricky, and I don't. Maybe photographers. I don't know why photographers had a hard time making photos for you.
No, man, dude, I've been like, I like all art forms, and I think photography is great in fashion. Like, like I know a bunch of photographer friends, and I'm like, hey, if you ever need somebody to get freaky weird, give me a call. So like,
Yeah.
um, there's this uh, local photographer. She needed somebody to run through this sunflower field wearing a
Mm-hmm.
mask, holding the bloody axe. I'm like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
your guy. Another one where they wanted to dump a bag of flour over me. I'm like, sign me up. Like, there's so many, and there's some good photos on my Facebook page. Like I'm interested in photography, and I'm not talking about like holding the fucking Coca-Cola can. I'm talking like, the real artistic, weird, or yeah,
You'd
stuff.
probably you'd probably have to find like a sculptor or a an installation artist or some artist that did like the type of work that you did in some form or another, to have like a real proper collaboration, someone that can kind of uh, uh, construct with you, or you would construct alongside, and maybe pieces that would work together somehow. I mean, I think that's what would have to do.
I mean, um, there's, I can think of one person in particular. I can't believe I'm spacing his name. That's funny. I'll drink on it. But I am very interested in the projection mapping. Are you familiar with Lightform? It's
um,
where this machine that's basically a projector can scan like a picture. It scans an area, and it can throw a different pattern onto each object. You'll have to. I'm not explaining it very well, but it's fantastic. It's unbelievable.
I have not heard of it. So like a hologram,
All that.
or
Like, yeah, holograms.
I'm writing it down.
Yeah, light.
I wrote Meow Wolf, Cooliverse, and Lightform. Those are my three. And Macklemore Countdown. That's what I wrote. I wrote three things. I wrote Ocean Spray Guy.
Downtown by Macklemore.
Yeah.
Downtown, like the city.
Yeah, I wrote that. Downtown, and I wrote Ocean Spray. Right. I wrote Ocean Spray for Ocean Spray Guy.
If we make a downtown video, I'll holler at you. You can be in the video.
All right. Yeah. Hey, Shoebox wants to know another question. What is your favorite album cover of all time?
I hope Shoebox is a billionaire. That'd work out great.
Yeah, that'd be great, wouldn't it? Maybe.
That's a interesting question. I don't know why, but I'd have to go with a Grateful Dead cover album then. I'm going to go with Wake of the Flood. Wake of the Flood by the Grateful Dead.
All right. Whew. All right, Michael. I think it's getting that time. It's been a long one.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I had fun.
Before we go,
yeah,
where can people find you?
People, if you want to do something interesting that's not boring, you want to see, I've got 55 pieces of art up here at the conservatory in Alton, Illinois. I'll take the fucking Pepsi challenge with any other art gallery besides St. Louis Art Museum. I'm throwing the fucking gauntlet down. You come here, take a look around. If you didn't, it's like, I'm not saying I'm up there with City Museum, but my goal is that you will remember the day. You will not forget the day you came here. Like, I'm trying to, similar to my artist statement where life's tough, art can bring you that moment of joy where you forget about your, you can have fun in that moment when a piece of art takes you away.
Yeah.
That's my goal, is to give everyone a moment where they're a child of wonder again.
Yeah.
So basically, yes, you can get a hold of me. Come down here to the conservatory in Alton, Illinois, buy a drink, tip the bartender, tell them how much you love the art. That helped out a lot.
And you're also on Facebook. You have an art page on Facebook, right?
Yeah, but I suck at taking pictures, and yeah, basically all my stuff's on Facebook, and I don't do Instagram or email, or the only thing I do is Facebook, and that's only because that was remedial enough for me to handle it.
Is it LOA Art Gallery? Is that correct?
Yeah, capital L, capital O, capital A, Art Gallery, and it stands for Love One Another. Love One Another Art Gallery. It's
All
something I can
right.
get behind.
Yeah, definitely. Um, Michael, thank you. Thank you so much.
Other thank you,
Really.
man. I enjoy having an intelligent conversation with people who enjoy talking about art, and man, listen, I really owe it all to you, because you're really talented at making people feel comfortable, and keeping the conversation moving. And uh, I hope I can buy you a beer sometime. It's very rare that you can speak to someone for the first time for 3 hours. So
We can
salute.
keep going. We got like 20 more minutes. That'd be the longest video I've made. I don't know
Dude,
what
I
we could
got to
talk
keep.
about.
Don't don't be saying that, because you know I like to be number one,
You want to be number
like,
one?
dude. Maybe. What's the
Maybe.
point?
Maybe. We. I'm out of questions.
I don't
I
know,
had
man.
all these questions here, and and oh, I got a few. I want to finish these other questions.
Yeah, sure. Listen, as soon as we get 5 seconds past the former longest one, you can just fucking turn me off. But yeah, roll out. What you got?
Shoebox, I want to say thank you for subbing my channel. I really do appreciate you. And Michael, Michael appreciates it as well. And check out his Facebook page at LOA Art Gallery. He's got some amazing installation collage work, or mixed media. That's the term we coined, right?
I think that's the closest, as close as we're gonna get. Like,
Yeah,
mixed media nonsense.
mixed media nonsense. Let's throw some confetti and glitter on it.
Right.
So I had
I do.
I wanted to know. Typically, I asked this question at the very beginning, but we went on so many tangents that I just couldn't find a place for it. So I want to know, what does a typical day look like to you? Like, what's a typical day when you're working? You know, how does your
Uh,
day function as an
I
artist?
get up in the morning. Yeah, yeah. I get up. Uh, Whether I go to work, I don't really have a job. Whether I go work, do some work for one of my two people, anyhow, I have the exact same thing every single day. I have a cup of water, a baby aspirin, a banana, a hard boiled egg, and a cup of coffee every morning. Hard boiled egg,
Really?
banana. Yeah. I either go to work, where I'm either doing home remodeling. I usually make my own schedule, call my own hours, work when I want. I usually show up at the job at 9 and quit by 4.
Mm-hmm.
Go home. Every day for lunch, I have a salad and a salad and something else. Usually nothing fried, like salad and hummus and another hard boiled egg, something boring, but healthy. Yogurt. I eat the shit out of yogurt. That Greek yogurt.
It's good for
16
you.
grams of 16 grams of protein.
Got to get it. Got to get that protein in.
Yeah. Get home around 4. Drink some water. Have a piece of fruit. Then I've got a yoga routine. I've got a routine with a mix of stretching, yoga, and Tai Chi.
Oh,
I've taken all 3 of those. Yeah, I've taken all 3 of those, and I've morphed them into my own routine of poses and stretches. And it almost has exclusively to do with the range of motion of each of your joints.
Oh, yeah?
Neck rolls, hip rolls, arm rotation, leg rotation. Basically, I take every joint to its full range of motion.
How long does it take?
Along with my yoga stretching routine takes about half hour, 45 minutes. And oddly, it resembles a lot like I used to work at a nursing home. They make like an Alzheimer's exercise. Basically, older people that want to maintain their range of motion. There's and actually I have I graduated. I was a certified occupational therapy assistant. I went to occupational therapy school.
Yeah.
And they had a lot of exercises to do with range of motion. Anyhow, I take each joint in the body through its full range of motion. With some poses and some shit. Anyhow, and it usually takes me about a half hour, and then I rotate lift days with run days.
Yeah.
I try to do it 7 days a week.
7 days every day. Well, stretching is that like I have. So my mom had like she's not she's older, you know, like her mobility is not as what it used to be, and I'm always getting trying to kind of, you know, do a little bit of nudging, you know, like you just raise your legs up. This like do an exercise where you're just lifting your knees up, you know. It doesn't even, for like 5 minutes of just lifting your knees up to get that hip mobility up, you know. Because she's a shorter woman, and she's always like, she doesn't lift her feet up. I'm like, well, you know, if you're shorter, you're not going to lift your feet up that much. But like, you know, I'm always like concerned, and she has like an elliptical machine, and I say, just get on that for 5 minutes. That's going to force your hips to go up because the way the thing's moving, you know. Yeah. And I'm always concerned. As you get older, your hip mobility, your mobility really decreases, and it's very like the whole phrase where like if you don't use it, you lose it type of thing is very, you know, it's very important. Oh, Shoebox, have fun with your painting. Really, thank you so much. Totally appreciate you.
Thank you, Shoebox. Oh, you dear Shoebox.
Shoebox was like just commenting a storm. A lot of Shoebox had some fun. Shoebox had a funny joke. Shoebox had like 2 jokes. What did Michelangelo say to the ceiling?
What's that?
I got you covered.
That's my
and then
joke.
there's another joke. Where does a cow hang his painting?
I don't know.
In a museum. Those aren't my jokes.
My favorite jokes are ones by like 6-year-olds.
Yes, they're fun. So Shoebox is majorly supportive. Really do appreciate you. So you have a very active like regimen. Like you have a very set habits. Do you?
I have to. The other part of that is After I work out, I start getting fucked up, like smoking herbs and drinking.
Oh yeah.
And if it weren't for me exercising, I would run myself into the ground immediately.
So it's kind of like you trying to counterbalance your tendency to
Yeah,
drink.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. If I don't keep on a healthy routine, uh, I will run myself into the ground.
Yeah. I read an article. Not I didn't even read an article. I think I just read a quote about what was gosh the guy that I don't remember. The quote was like you gotta detox before you retox. That was the quote, and it was about an actor who would always be either uh, uh, engaging in a lot of booze or like going on these juice and water fasts for no reason. So it's kind of like this back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the actor's name; it just escapes me. So what time in the morning are you actually getting up to do this whole list of things?
Man, I haven't set an alarm clock. I bet you I've set an alarm clock once in the last 5 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like I'm living, dude. I'm telling you, man, I'm living the life. I might be flat ass broke, but I ain't mad. Like, um, I wake up naturally. I get going about when but I'm usually a pretty early riser. Usually,
Mhm.
well, I used to be more so, but um, I get up every day about 7, and I'm usually in bed by 10:30.
Uh-oh, it's bedtime. Is it bedtime?
It on a normal night, yeah, I'd be in bed by now. Pretty funny, huh?
All right. Well, Michael, goodbye. You got to go to bed. I'm
All right,
sorry that we have to cut it short or early. You just got to go to bed right now.
good. That means we're
Did you
number
already did you
one.
get your yoga and your exercises in?
I did
Okay.
get my yoga in before I came in for the interview.
So check that's out. What's the other night thing that you got to do before you go to
I've
bed?
got my beer,
Okay, you
and
got your beer. Check.
I've got everything.
But so you're ready to go. Um, So are you an organized or disorganized person or in between?
Man, I tell you, I am both to the
Yeah.
extreme. Like
Yeah.
I've got areas that are a complete hoarding looking nightmare,
Yeah.
but within my job, like whether that if I'm working on a piece of art or if I'm doing a kitchen remodel, um, I've got it all laid out.
Yeah.
Like it's yeah.
I've I've encountered like I've always encountered like there's like these two polar opposites of like artists. They're like either hyper organized or they're not. You know, where they're like I've encountered artists that they know exactly what they're gonna do every day, all for every week, every for a month, for a quarter. You know, they got the whole calendar, and I'm like I have to try to do that, but I'm always messing up. Like so, I'll plan a week out for 1 week, and then I'll miss that window the Sunday that I'm supposed to plan my week out, and then I say I'm going to do it Tuesday or Monday, and I keep missing it because it's not actually in the time frame for me to do it, and then I'll get back on it. So like I'm back and forth, constant like teetering between like I got to be focused so I can get work done. If I otherwise the only thing that's guiding me as an artist is like a kind of like a circadian rhythm of habits of when I have to do my artwork. So I know when I get up in the morning, I have a certain amount of time to do my artwork, and that's the time I can do it. And I've kind of established that. But everything outside of that is like when am I going to eat? Like it's like that chaotic at times. Like, so I totally understand. And so like it seems maybe you're like super focused on like when you have to get stuff done, right? You just crank
when
on
I'm in the
them.
middle of an artwork, I'm not. I'm a little bit mentally somewhere else. Like
Yeah,
it's all I can think about is I try to set deadlines for myself. I try to promise things, make obligations. I feel like it's important to put yourself in position where you have to win. You know, if I'm more likely to get more stuff done if I put myself in a position where I've said it'll be done.
yeah,
So I I get very focused when I'm making something, and it can be no fun to be probably my girlfriend because I look like I'm staring off into space, like I'm not really there. I'm somewhere else, even when I'm over here.
mm-hmm.
I'm kind of bad at that.
Because you got work to do.
When I got something on my mind and I want to get it done, I tend to feel like I need to go do it.
Yeah, and like I don't know if you get. Well, I don't have that like shoot, I'm gonna sound bad.
That's
You
okay
sound
because
like
I
you have
sound
more.
horrible all the time.
You sound like you come off as you have a little bit, you have a lot of freedom, right? So like you probably can just like, well, bye guys, I gotta go do this. Can you? Are you like that? Do you have that type of freedom?
Well, I can tell anybody. Yeah, I literally I don't have a boss. I just
Yeah,
do work to my friends that own properties,
yeah,
and they've literally told me we just want to support your ability to make art, and you just
yeah,
whenever you run out of money, come on down. We got 12 apartments, and all of them need something.
yeah.
So it's like uh, it's pretty cool.
Because I know when I'm working or when I have something on my mind, it's always pulling at me about like I can't do it. I have to like it's in a small window in the morning where I can do productive artwork, and if I miss it, oh man, I'm miserable.
Do you have any kids?
Yeah, yeah. So if I miss it, I'm just like
Yeah.
yeah. So I understand when the necessity or the need to have to do something, and I like maybe a little bit little jelly, a little envious of the fact that like you can just like, oh, I can go do it now, you know. But
Uh,
it is what it is,
you
you
know
know.
what's funny, man? I came from a family of I've got three siblings. Well, there's four kids in my family. I always thought um, I always thought I'd have kids in a big family. Just the circumstances never quite worked out, and there's a lot of things where you can tell somebody, yeah, I know what you mean. Childbirth is not one of those things. Having another human being with your DNA in it is like um, I'm a little, sometimes I'm a little sad I never had kids. Congratulations, man. I hope it's rewarding. I know that parents often have a depth of feeling that I will never know.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck how much I like my dog. It don't mean shit. You got a kid. I mean, that's deep. Like I mean, you've experienced something that I'll never. I can never say I know what you mean. I don't have any reference for that. Like that's
yeah,
what how
yeah.
man.
With
So
the childbirth reference, that was fun. There was a at one of my mini jobs on my weekend job. One of the my coworkers, she's pregnant, and she's like, I'm just so tired and exhausted. She was saying that, and she was like, tired, exhausted. She's got another human being that she's growing, and I'm like, I say something like this, we're friends, and then I can make funny jokes. So I say like, I get it. I totally get it. Only in theory though. Like, like it's anything outside of that, like as you said, you have no frame of reference. Like I will never get it in any way other than like if I were to read it, like read what it felt like on paper, So like that's how, because you're never going to understand it. They can explain it to you. Just like there's this when I was younger that I went out with some friends, and they had a friend who what was it? He couldn't smell. Like he couldn't smell.
Oh,
like
yeah,
he had no
I know a dude like that.
And the other dude was like, "It's okay. I'll explain to him what it smells like." But like, how do you explain sweet? How do you explain salty or
If that would go for all your senses, like if you were blind or if you were deaf, and how do you explain color, or how do you yeah, man.
It'd be impossible, because
for sure.
Like, oh, it smells sweet. Like, well, if I've never smelled sweet before, what is sweet? So I always thought that was an interesting concept, but yeah, it's hard to get a frame of reference on these things. You can just like you can never be in someone's shoes. You can only try to empathize and try to understand. Try to seek understanding of where people are coming from, but different people, different different experience hit people differently than others. Like for someone, for some people, I don't know, like just experiences, right? For some people, like if they're making artwork and they're not selling it, like really grinds on them really hard, they're really mad about it, and then for some people, if they don't sell work, but they're happy about making their work, they're happy that it's in places, it doesn't matter, as long as it brings joy to someone. I guess, I don't know, whatever. I'm making no sense.
Hey man, I'm thinking about doing something exciting.
What's that?
I'm thinking about pushing this button that says cam and seeing if I can like show you some stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
Let me see if I can oh no, this is the one I'm looking for right here. Okay, you still there?
Okay, yeah. Okay. It's flipped around, yeah.
So I can hear you, and I think you can hear me, and yeah. I've got 19% battery, so I'm about ready to jump up, and I'm gonna show you some stuff, and I may lose you, but I think that might even be the proper way to, it's better to burn out than to fade away.
Yeah.
So I've got 19% battery. I'm gonna unplug and walk around and show you a couple pieces of art real quick. Is that cool?
Yeah, just show a few pieces, and that'll be the finale. How about that?
Sounds great. Okay,
that's awesome, man.
This right here is an 11-foot long door out of an old courthouse. That's a bench I made. This is the conservatory piece with Mr. Banks, Our Lady, Dead Roses, And there's little brother. So I got some like.
And you took those to the band members?
Yeah. And I salvaged the background of this piece is a wall out of Jacoby Art Center. This is like a wall of wallpaper from like the 70s, and they were tearing down this building here in town. And I went in and cut up the wall and hauled the wall home and made art out of it. I just like the wallpaper. This is my latest piece right here. This is 9.5 feet tall. It's a giant microphone. It's got like hundreds of CDs in it. It's got 38 little speakers in that top part.
Uh-huh.
Are you still with me? Okay.
Yeah, I'm there.
And then, okay, yeah. And it's full of 45 records. And it's got some vintage microphones in it.
Amazing.
This is Club Cooliverse. I did not do the painting in the center. The center painting is from a Costa Rican gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
It's called a Universal Jazz Band. The painting is.
Yeah.
But this thing has got 4-foot-long tubes of water with lights and bubbles that come up to it.
Yeah.
I've got some of those old jukeboxes. So anyhow, it's fucking whack, dude. I gotta tell you.
It does have that. I can see how you really appreciate the City Museum. You know, this
yeah,
like.
It was a big influence, man. Big influence.
He was doing something called Concrete Land for a while.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Did he passed away working on that place, didn't he?
Yeah, but the rumors are that, you know, maybe somebody knocked him off.
Wow.
He was involved in a rollover accident in Concrete Land.
Wow.
And,
I didn't realize that.
But the rumor was that, dude, man, story about when I worked at City Museum. His girlfriend at the time would swim naked in that aquarium. The dude, after hours, that place was a fucking circus.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. Paul Cassidy's son. Man, him and his friends had to run to that place and fuck, even him, dude, people would be getting buck wild over there. It was a lot of fun.
After hours, huh?
Yeah.
And don't you have a what else are you going to show us now?
Dude, you got to check this out. This is my kaleidoscope.
Okay, yeah, I saw that.
7 foot long. It's got epoxy pores in it. And then check this shit out.
Yeah, I saw that in the photos that you showed me. That was a really cool little piece there. It's not little, but it's a cool piece.
Yeah, no, it's fucking fat. Over here, this is called, that's my bullet. This up here is my yin yang. call that near the portal. That's like 5 feet wide to give you some perspective. Here's my
Oh no, battery's probably dead by now. Well, anyways, for those that are watching, I think Michael has left. He was running on 19% battery life, and he wanted to go out with a bang. He wanted to go out last man standing. I just want to thank everyone that was watching. We really appreciate you. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to check out more of Michael Snider's work.
I don't know if anybody ever even paid attention, but
he's back.
Hello?
You actually went off for a second. Anyways, Michael,
Somehow I lost
Wi-Fi.
audio.
Oh, you did. You went blank for a little bit.
I cannot hear you. I don't know if you can hear me or not.
No, your BT's probably out.
Let me see.
Anyways, I think we're done. Hello.
Yeah, I still can't hear you, bro. Oh,
all right.
Looks like my phone's about to die anyhow.
All right, everyone. I just want to say
Dude, it's been a pleasure. We're number one. Peace out.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Really appreciate you. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Michael's having technical difficulties. We might as well call it a day. We hit the 3-hour marker. I'm really excited about that, and I really do appreciate every one of you. And I'm just gonna whatever. We're just gonna do this. Pierson out.